Oh, cool. So when I spent that time setting up, getting the lobby ready proactively, so that people could just be able to join, and I wouldn't have to worry about blocking the screen with cute dogs, and it would just be all set to go. That didn't matter, because the map modes changed. Thought I was being so proactive. I am very smart. Hello, Devi. Hello, Kira. Hi, Jamie. Hello, Jules. Congrats on grocery shopping. The crowd is all very proud of you. Hello, Mr. Golden Cat. Hi, Lord Louse. Hi, Cora Foya. Hello, Triple Slash. Oh, and there's Drago already. Quick with it. Let me double check and see. We have a second one today, so we will only need one additional person for our open session here. And here we are. The 16th, Leaf the Rogue is the other one. And scrolls. Here we go. Check, check. Perfect, that's working. Alright. That should be all of the things that need to be said about stuff. Hi, Kiki. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hi, Shaluna. Hi, Blob Lover. The sheep has wandered in. Welcome, sheep. Hi, Monochrome Mole. Hello, Sandwich with Ham. Hello, Fat Cat 420. Yeah, I think you posted a picture on Twitter, didn't you, Jamie? So, like, I'm not sure exactly what's involved in the making of that. It looked like you had to, like, cut pieces out. Do the pieces come, like, pre-shaped? Did it, like... You didn't, like, actually carve those out, did you? That would be insane if you did. If that, like, they looked that good. That would be crazy. Okay, yeah. So there are a bunch of, like, plastic parts that fit together. Okay. Yellow, OBJ. And hello, Sai. Hey, no. Okay, there we go. Hi, Drago. You are live.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait just a minute to see if we get our other VOD reviewee in the VC. They haven't responded yet today. They did send me like a replay code yesterday, so they're definitely planning on it, but haven't had contact with them like in the last couple minutes, so we'll give it a couple minutes while we say hi to chat, but we'll get going soon if not.
No worries.
And hello, the Sleeping Atlas. Pieces come in a sheet of plastic with different styles. Each are unique, but yeah, nice. You made a video about the feed stagger loop besides in the getting out of ranked series. I'm trying to follow the advice from that, but I'm not sure if what I'm trying is right. follow the advice from that. Basically, it's just when your team has not respawned yet, do not get into a position where you will be engaging the enemy team. If you have a way to stall them that's safe, then sure, go for it. But you don't want to ever be in a position where the enemy team can actually catch you until the rest of your team is there and you actually stand a chance of winning, which usually means also building up specials in the meantime so that you have something to make an advantageous fight for yourself as you get out. Hello, Sammy Kid 2. Must have practiced forever to get that good. You haven't seen me even play the game, have you? What are we referring to there? I'm confused. Hello, Oyasumi guy. Oyasumi, what does that mean? Good night? I thought that was what it was. One sec. Yeah, good night. Okay. Hello, Tyers Balls. Have you explained how to pronounce that? I feel like I ask that every time I see the tag. And I don't feel like I remember actually seeing an explanation of the pronunciation. Appreciated the analysis of Thank you. I try. Tired because work has been busy since one of my coworkers. That sucks. It's like on one hand, it's good that like there's a job opening for someone out there now, but for the people who are left behind, that definitely sucks having to kind of just pick up the slack without any extra help or pay or whatever. Hi, Nigel. Happy birthday, Chamois. I'm assuming that's how that's pronounced, and if it's not, well, I probably said it funny. Hi, Harvey Plays Games, Shadow Wizard Money Gang. I'm about to sneeze. The Shadow Wizards paid me off to sneeze that often. Okay. Hello, Slolstar. Y be like J in German? Tjursballs? Tjurtsball? Okay. Tjurtsball? Something like that. I'm assuming the Z is German as well. It's been sort of a pattern across the last couple of letters you've explained. Hi, Melody. We love casting spells. I still haven't figured out how to write text in a different color. Hi, Ted D. Bear. Okay, Tjurtsball. German is English. What? I was always taught that the Z sound was more cut off, like it's a z, or you're kind of like that. Oh, just for your name. Okay, Tjursball. Makes sense. Makes sense. And hello, Cacti. Welcome, first stream. Nice. Looks like it would be valuable to have you, Jamie, because I haven't gotten a response from our other VOD review yet. So that would make us a 4-stack. That'd be good. It's the same information as usual. But with the / makes it color text. Oh, so is it the color of your name on Twitch? I actually don't have Twitch open, so it just looks gray to me, but that would make sense. So, pulling up the Twitch chat, that would look... Because Jules has pink name text. Interesting. I pulled up the Twitch chat, and it doesn't look that color on Twitch. It only looks that color on Restream.
Interesting.
Huh.
Well,
Yeah, Jamie's is green, because Jamie has a green name. That makes sense. I get it. And it even shows up on Restream's, like, overlay chat. So cool. What is this video about? You mean the stream? So this is something we do every Tuesday. We've done this since like March of 2020 or something like that. It's an hour of Anarchy Open with a couple of guests. And the guests are here because after an hour of Open, ergo after we have time for people to actually show up to the stream, we will VOD review for those two people and give them some advice on how to improve their gameplay. B+, but I definitely want to learn any advice. I have videos about that. It's a series called How to Get Out of Rank. I don't know. I don't have a great series name, but each video is how to get out of C rank, how to get out of B rank, how to get out of A rank, etc., all the way up to top 500.
That's a sprinkler efficient pencil, by the way.
And so that would be my first place that I would recommend that you go for advice of that nature. But I'm always
watch
happy.
out behind.
I'm always happy to answer specific questions as well if you've got any of those. I don't know how any of those
Mark the
shots
sword.
missed the pencil. And it is
Bucket's
getting
on the
some
bottom left
sword
going to the
weight, could get
ramp.
him.
Marked pencil. Ooh, I got somebody. I got two.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, you see me, guy?
I got three.
nice.
I will never hold
Behind
anybody
me.
accountable
Behind
to having
me.
watched all of
Oh,
my
I know.
1,100 videos. There are many of them.
I got technically all four, but you know how it works.
Careful. Oh, sword. Drop down.
I didn't
I
mean
can
fall.
take power. I don't know. Oh, watch out behind us, pencil. Go away. On the ramp, Jamie.
Yep, I see.
Oh, I'm gonna get zipped. I gotta back off for a second.
Got the.
Nice. Bucket on the
Got
wall.
two.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Just
Just a
pencil.
pencil on the
Nice
top right.
raiders spamming.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I briefly slid off the tower. Oh, that's a
Oh, watch out.
sword. I got the sword. I have a kraken.
Here you
As
go.
soon as this tower goes to the side, Jamie, I'm jumping over, okay? If I can
Oh.
live. Never mind.
I did not live.
Oh, I'm out. I'm down.
Just you.
Okay, well,
I should have been more patient with it.
Sorry if I'm like being slow. My controller's been acting up.
no worries. We dealt with that yesterday.
Yeah.
Got bucket.
I'm a lot more worried about Vic's controller than I am about yours right now.
I think Vic
That's
said
fair.
that she was getting a new one, so I think we're okay.
It's been like the left trigger doesn't let me move forward for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Bunk.
That's a common thing. Pencil's on the left snipe, by the way.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
Bucket going up the wall. Got him.
Got soda.
Nice. Just to edit on the bottom right. And there's a friend there. I marked the friend.
I
No
got
more friend.
the.
Honey's
Oh,
still
there's a
there.
second friend.
Oh, I'm out.
Oh, hello, pencil.
Got bucket.
I got pencil.
Got head
Oh,
it.
that's a sword.
Watch out.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
Dance. I was at like half health
Okay, so
there,
it's gotta
and
be
I was like,
forward
okay,
slash
hug the post,
me.
hug the post. I did have Kraken, but I was like, I'm gonna get pushed off if I Kraken, so I'm gonna stay in squid form. Oh,
nice fist bump.
Like Hom
Hmm.
Sunday still.
yes,
Aha,
I
it worked.
still did. There, Jem figured it out.
All right.
What did I even get? Oh yeah.
What time the patch notes are coming out? So the patch that's releasing on the 21st, the notes are already out, and it just says, this is for Splatfest music. It's weird, because what they said on the patch was the balance patch will be coming out in the middle of Fresh season. Well, it's the middle of Fresh season, because it was end of March until... I think it's end of March to end of May, so middle of April should be exactly the midpoint, which is where we're at.
So it should be soon, you'd think we'd see it.
So I need to go and look at what the actual exact dates are, because I was thinking, oh, okay, so it's only been a month.
RP leader.
It's only been a month since the thing has been out, and it should be the 6-week point, but I think it's... No, wait,
Leader's playing aggressive, heads up.
I need to...
Oh, they're on the back
got
back
two.
right, okay.
I need to go in and look at it again, because I don't think I mathed right the first time, and I don't want to have it out on Twitter for hours.
Well, they have a squiffer, too, never mind.
That it's not the middle of the season yet.
You?
Oh,
Where's
I got
the leader?
sniped
Oh, they're
on
sniped.
left.
I have to
Swiffer
be a
around the
little
corner.
careful. Yeah, the one's
One
going
coming
up
the
the left
wall,
wall.
it's Stamper.
I got it.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I'm close to Kraken, Jamie, if you wanna...
Okay.
So then I can go bug the E-leader.
I'm on.
I'm down.
Got one.
Leader's
Should
not
be
here
checked.
anymore.
The leader's not here anymore, nope.
Got Stamper, did not get leader.
Swiffy's looking at the tower, there's two over there.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I didn't get
Oh,
the last.
leader got me, shoot. I
Oh, boy.
took a risky fight.
Oh,
Oopsies.
damn.
All good. There's a good push.
Yep.
Come on, man. Okay, there you go.
Connection okay?
Yeah, it's all good. It's starting.
Swiftie's
Oh.
top left here. Swords following up.
So wait,
One's bottom right.
Maybe middle of the season is actually earlier than the Splatfest song
Oh,
patch.
Oh. I'm in a trouble spot.
Traded with the umbrella.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense with the numbering conventions though, because they're
Careful,
calling
you might
the
get too
song
close.
patch 7.1.0,
I must have Kraken.
which would be the convention for
Okay,
mid-season
I have Kraken.
stuff.
Let me go in and
Umbrella on plat,
got the
nice.
umbrella. Okay,
Flip,
I can't do
side.
anything there. Oh, hey.
I guess we'll see what happens when the map rework comes out, and if
That
we get
Swift still
extra
on the
patch
right?
notes on top of it.
I hear it.
Oh, they went back in the middle-ish, I think. They're on the
Okay.
tower with Bubble. Watch your jump, Squiffy!
Got one. Swift weak to below. They're down.
I marked the leader. Oh, never mind. I marked the sword.
Yeah, you did.
The leader was right there when I threw it.
Ready?
Okay, I'm
Okay, when I
Leader
get
weak,
Kraken...
didn't get him. Oh, they crabbed.
Oh, yeah.
You're alone.
I'm aware. Surprise!
jumped into an Autobot.
Oh, I'm stuck. I got stuck in Toxic Mist when I detransformed.
Ah, Swift sees me. I can believe.
Okay, leader has Wave Breaker. Be careful.
Traded with sword.
Got Jet.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, I marked the Swiffer. There's two in that area where it's marked.
Man, I can't believe I missed. There we
There,
go.
you got one. Oh, hello. Brella by tower. No, Brella on me.
Stamper down. Leader watching
Mark
from rail.
Brella. Nice.
Yeah, Brella.
Someone's on their snipe. Heads up.
Yep, it's leader.
Maybe bubble gem.
I have Kraken. I don't trust myself here. There's someone in front, Jamie.
Okay.
I think there's a sword on the bottom or something.
Leader top left.
Up, yeah.
Okay. I was right.
Got sword.
I'm breaking their bubble the best I can. There we
One
go.
behind tower.
Yeah, there's two here actually. Oh boy, I got myself into a pickle. There we go. I lived. 45 seconds and they have that.
Alright, no need to go in too fast.
Oh, Squiff got me. I didn't see it was there. Okay, there's 3 on our zone. And they have crab.
I'm close to Zuka.
They have crab and bubble.
Bubbles
They
used
use
on
the
top of
bubble.
ramp.
Trying to build Kraken here. Crab's out. Oh, 2 bottom right. Squiffy was 1. They went up.
Pushing tower. There's 2
I almost
here.
have
2
Kraken.
here.
Oh no.
I mean, bro.
Squiff is marked. Okay,
There
we
you
good.
Hey, leader.
I just see them standing on the tower looking down, and I'm like,
Wait, that said March 21st, 2024? That was the song?
yeah.
Oh, I read that as the wrong month. Lol.
Good job, Jerry.
Okay, so they just don't have the patch notes out yet at all. So that actually... that makes a big difference. So... it should be... with the map rework. One would think.
Jamie, I'm gonna have to edit my command again. If there is a poll on Undertow. Oh boy.
I'm kind of expecting there to be. Not gonna lie.
That's what I've had 3 people DM me and being like, I think there's a poll coming here, and I'm like, you guys are already pre-preparing me to edit my command.
OBJ says, just wanted to thank you and Debbie for your advice on Splatlings the other week. I've picked up Ballpoint and Edit, had a blast with them, and now they're my first proper main weapons.
Splatling Club!
Debbie's propaganda has succeeded.
To your left.
Yep,
That was that gift too.
I got 1. I almost have Kraken. They're gonna break checkpoint. Dynamo's on the left.
I'm gonna zoop from Dome
Okay.
here. Got 1.
There we go. Got
This
2.
way.
3rd on the right.
Zooking Dome.
Maybe
Got
aim for
Zoop.
me. There we go.
Watch out.
Heavy stuck.
Got him.
2 here. Got 1.
1 more. They're weak.
They're still not attacking me. They took a
They're
really
looking
long
at the
time to decide
tower.
to attack me.
They were looking at the tower. I have Kraken if someone can take. Jamie, can you stay?
Got 1.
Swaddling behind that bubble. Butler?
Bubble.
I got 1.
No,
Woo!
bumper.
Oh.
Dynamo's below me. Oh,
Oh, we wiped.
it's like I can't paint down. They have Cooler and Kraken on the ready right now. They just used 1. Oh, that's a Thermalink Dynamo with tenacity.
Oh. Damn.
Dynamo is playing aggressive and will get picks if you get
Got
too
him.
close, so heads up.
Just as
Dynamo is really playing aggressive.
I traded.
Hello.
Oh, they zooped me.
They're crackening on the tower. There's
I have
2
a
here,
th-
John. Be careful. No!
Oh,
Feels good.
I have a theory that the pole is going to be a bridge between the 2
Oh my
glass
gosh,
areas.
I can't get the dynamo off the tower. I hit it 3 times too, and then I'm like, I'm gonna die to a Kraken. If I don't land this shot, nope, I'm not gonna land the shot. Huh?
thinking about that, Jen?
What'd you say, Jamie?
What were you saying? Like
Oh,
about
I have a
the-
theory that the pole in Mincemeat is actually going to be, like, it's going to have a platform at the top, and it's going to be a bridge from one glass to another.
That would be cool.
I would like that.
That could be neat.
Can't believe they called the bumper Butler.
Butler. They're on the Butler. Get him.
Oh no, save the butler! He makes such good tea. I don't even drink tea, but I know he's valuable to society.
Alpha Framework third is very valuable, definitely. He's
They may
Batman.
DM you something.
You know the crazy thing? I think they probably nerf Stamper before they nerf Snipe Rider. I don't think they should, but I think they do.
Did you see the DM, Jamie? Jamie! Oh no.
What? What did I do?
Are you there? I sent you a DM. Did you see it?
I did this now.
Okay.
Beautiful.
They're out pretty
Watch the
slow.
bottom
I'm
left.
already on
Bottom
their
left.
flat.
Watch bottom left wall. There was somebody underneath. I don't know where now. I didn't
Got
mark
one.
them, but there was paint.
Here's some of them, right?
Uh,
Yeah. Ammo.
That's a carbon.
Roller.
You were close. They both have roller in the name.
Oh, he
You
jumped
stop
out.
that.
There's one under the bridge.
One dropped right. It's heavy going up or ballpoint.
Cause that.
Close to Kraken. Hi, Blaster. Oh no.
Nice.
We okay? What happened? No, we're
I
not
died to,
okay.
Traded Jamie.
Oh no, I missed the jump. This is a bad Kraken for me.
One on tower.
Well, that was
dropped trench.
not helpful.
Oh, the roller was behind me too. Entrenched.
They have
Got
two
one
more
with bomb.
specials. They have Zuka
Zap down.
and Inka. It's a lot of
Top
range.
right.
Damn.
They were weak. I hit the one on tower. Jumping
They're
behind
jumping.
it.
Jump down.
Watch out.
What? Okay.
What was that? Oh,
Zap.
where's that carbon? Found it!
Nice.
Got
Last
it.
one's up by their zone.
Hey, up there.
My crab's ready.
I have Kraken.
Gonna hop on.
Mostly bottom of ramp from
Coming
what I
up
can
wall.
see.
Careful.
One below left. On the wall,
Up
on the
on
wall
right.
down.
Blaster on the right with carbon. Blaster's up there. Oh, oh no.
I think you know.
That was unfortunate. Carbon's gonna flank me on the right. If you guys can watch that coming back in. Same with Zap. Ah,
Once you're back. Hammer's
there's a
out.
hammer out. Where did this guy go?
Traded.
Hammer went.
Hey,
bottom
one's
right.
hiding on the far back right, yeah.
Inkjet.
Heads up, going in. Make way. I got one. Oh, there's a carbon
Got one.
still on our bunk.
Got
Thank
him.
Got
you.
him.
Watch the bridge.
Are they giving jumps? Where are they? There.
There was somebody by the bridge the last I saw. So I don't know which way they went.
BP down.
Ooh, that's a
Oh,
Zuka.
watch out. Didn't
Boink.
do it.
Carbon on their bunk. With a friend. Oh
Traded.
no. I only hit 3 shots on each of them! Oh my-
I ran out of it.
That was so unfortunate.
All good. Oh, that's a carbon.
Nope, they're pushing.
I don't know what I marked, but okay.
Carbon in the wall in the corner.
Sending Chet. And a hammer.
A hammer.
Oh, that's a Zuka. Oh no. Watch out. One more Zuka shot. Oh, never mind, they're dead. One more by tower, there we go.
It's
Oh no,
carbon.
they're on our zone, our zone, our
Jumping.
zone.
Yeah.
Got the jumper, but the carbon's still
Still
there.
in there, still
on
in
our
there.
plat, on our plat.
I tapped it. They jumped.
Anyone want tower?
Damn right.
Watch out on the bottom corners. They love that.
Bubble.
Stuck.
Pop my bubble. Watch out flank.
Oh my god.
Luna's gonna be below
Towers
me.
screwed me up so bad.
I
Okay,
fell
cool.
where I didn't
Did
want to
you?
go, but okay. Hey, why did I miss that?
Okay, I'm
Well.
just gonna swim in.
Oh.
Luna's gonna get me, but I'm gonna take out the ballpoint. Come on. Oh, hi, Carbon. Bye. Oh, that was fun. Nice. There's gonna be 2 more around that area. Watch out, left. There we go. There was paint on the left. Okay, we have to hop on tower. 2 in front.
Zap down, no cooler.
Got one.
They've got jet though.
I'm
I'm down to
stuck.
that.
Amy, watch out.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
There's
Oh,
one
yeah,
more here.
ball.
One more here.
There's
I
one
got it.
sharking.
On
Watch
tower.
out for blaster.
They got me, not you.
No,
Oh.
I was getting on too.
Literally
just-
got me.
The tower was just ahead, did not be in a straight angle, so I had to try to get on the tower to get him.
Yeah,
That's
we lost
important.
at 1 point. That
Was
close.
it 1 point? Oh
Yeah,
well.
1 point mean.
Close comeback.
Trying to pick up the Rapid Blaster Deco, having trouble using inkjet well. Any tips? Oh, so I have... There's an old video that I made when ballpoint became meta because of inkjet, where there were all of these backline weapons that had never had to play an inkjet in their lives that were really struggling to pick up the special. I think it's like ballpoint tips for the... or inkjet tips for the recent ballpoint learner or something like that. And that is a video made exclusively for situations like this. So you can go and check that out on YouTube if you want to see the whole thing.
I'm definitely gonna have to get a new controller at some point, but
I think it's
it's not working.
thumbnails like the Backliner's Guide to Having a Good Special for Once. Or having a cool special for once, that's what it is. They had a good special in Stingray. That doesn't mean it was cool, though.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy with the kit that my main weapon has.
Bubble was cool for heavy deco.
I still can't believe I called the V-Hydra kit before S3 came out. That was funny.
I called the junior kit. That made me happy. I think it was that difficult. Yeah.
Hey, you. I got 2.
Nice.
I got 3.
Stole
Thank
your quad.
you.
Hey.
It's okay, I got the assist. We're fine.
How about that bubble?
You want tower then, Jamie? I almost have Kraken. Oh, that works too. Watch bottom right in the pit.
There's one behind the block on left. It's Squiff.
Oh my.
They dropped behind tower, behind tower.
Oh.
Got him.
Well, I use this for nothing, but I'm up here.
Alright, jump. Right side.
Bucket behind tower. I think I got him, yeah.
My
Yeah.
K is gonna be kinda nasty. Even for that quick of a game.
I still find it so cool that they're chanting Moomy.
Yeah.
You win.
Woomy! 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 Your aim is so good. Thank you, Adonai. Appreciate that. It's definitely not top level aim. If you want to see something more impressive, go and watch someone like. Oh my goodness, Devi.
Yeah.
Go and watch someone like the members of Starburst, like Bran, Bagel, Biscuit. Those guys, it's like a really, really powerful magnet between their reticle and their opponents. It's crazy. Any tips for struggling YouTuber main? I only main low tiers like Undercover. I am negative 2,000 in debt. Help me. There's a part of me that wants to say you brought this on yourself. No, so... GooTuber, I haven't explored very much in this game. I did play a bit of it in Splatoon 2, and there's a series of me learning how to play it and, like, picking things up slowly. So maybe there's a little something in there that you might learn from? I don't know. Goo in this game has only ever even been attempted as a missile spammer.
Okay, thermal end parries, drop roller, dynamo, and sploosh. Don't ask, because I don't know either. I missed the mark, but oh, someone's flanking bottom right.
Yes.
And parries. You got Jamie. I was almost
dynamo?
worried.
Oh, God.
There's
So
a wiper behind us.
There's a
on the
dynamo
tower.
somewhere below us, and I don't know
him.
where. I'm terrified.
They're way
Dynamo-
bottom.
Okay,
oh
they're way
no,
back
there's a. I got the sploosh, but there's a sploosh below us. But hello,
Man.
tower. You are mine now.
This
Be
is
my
my
friend.
jump.
That cubby.
Oh, there's a... Okay, thank you. Another jump there. Man, they really like their unsafe jumps.
I forgot about the drop roller.
On tower, on tower, on tower.
Yeah, I'm in a Kraken form. They can't hurt me.
Got him. That's a dynamo.
The dynamo can hurt me now.
2 on tower, one more.
Killed somebody.
There's
Nice.
a jump. And the fourth one's above me. Watch up here.
That doesn't
Man, they're playing
I
like
didn't
it's
mark them.
Splatoon
Behind you,
1
Jamie,
with
behind you! I got
They're
him,
playing
but
like
I
it's
couldn't
Splatoon
save
1
him.
with a quick respawn. Ah, I'm down to
Oh,
curling.
boy. Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Oh, I'm gonna die to the torpedo.
I die.
I did get him. Oh, bottom left, bottom left. Oh, there we go. Okay, they went up.
There's somebody jumping.
Okay, yeah, if there's a
the heck?
GooTuber server, then join the GooTuber server.
Hammer
Oh.
coming out.
I hit it once, but I couldn't finish it.
I
Oh,
killed the
dear.
hammer, but I died.
Okay. Just you, Jamie. Bombs away.
Exactly.
Wish there was a way
Alright,
to find a
there's
competitive
one pushing
player
up on the...
who plays your weapon. There is. Go to sendu.inc, and the videos
Oh, no.
tab, you can sort that by weapon. And any VODs of tournament matches, you will show up. So if there's a strong player that's
Put me on
playing
the
that
tower.
weapon, you can
Okay.
always find them that way.
Ah. Watch out, Dynamo's still here.
Not anymore. Ooh, okay.
The one there.
Where?
They're all on me!
Oh,
Our
there.
bunk!
Got him.
There you go. I couldn't tell from the map alone.
It was like, I know they're here. Let me see if a marker... Oh, yeah! They're very rush
the wall?
forward. Yeah, there's a couple on the wall, Dynamo. Keep an eye on flanks. They're very flanky. Oh, hello.
Bye, bubble.
Dynamo, nice. Someone on
the
the ramp
wall.
here.
Yeah.
They're one! They're one! No! They're
There's
bottom
two in
right.
front of you.
How are
we
they
go.
not dead?
There we go.
I definitely hit them 3 times.
Oh, hello! Oh,
There's somebody jumping.
Oh my god, we're getting cooler diffed so hard right now.
Ew. Oh, that jumps. Okay.
I'm in a very weird spot. But I
I
helped!
traded.
And the tower saved your jump.
Okay, there's a lot jumping into the ramp.
Oh, yeah, I see him. I'm on a wall.
There's a dynamo
Got
on the
one of
wall.
them.
They have cooler. Dooley's for going for tower with dynamo. I'm dead. Tower.
I got
We don't have anybody back
Yeah, just
on
me
the...
in between. Yeah.
I got lazy on the jump camp.
Oh, watch out! On me. I'm gonna die. Ah,
Got him.
thank you. There's another one. Oh no.
Where's that hammer?
Okay,
Okay.
there's 2 more
They're
jumps here.
jumping.
I got the dynamo, but not the wiper.
Yeah, they're all dropping in behind us.
Just someone take
Got
tower
one.
and go forward though.
It's Sploosh Weak behind us. Didn't get him. They're jumping to the sploosh
Oh
behind
no!
us.
Watch my use my jump.
They're all behind us. They're all behind us. Look backwards.
They're one. No, I missed the shot. Gosh darn it! Non-flat land.
Florida.
Dynamo down.
I'm a prairie person.
I'm being
used
pushed
to
by
flat
2.
land.
Didn't trade. We need tower in like.
Yeah, we
5
need to
seconds.
stop the tower
We need
like
tower
now.
All right.
Good job. Whew.
Oh, the Dynamo on tower.
God, what a face-off.
What's with chargers who kill you without even pointing at you? They'd probably just snapped to you from where they were looking.
Some do really quick snaps, and it looks like they're not even looking at you. That's just how quick it is, and the game can't respond that fast.
One other thing to note is that Charger is a very fast shot, right? And in this game, the way that lag works is that if it looks on their screen like they hit the shot, like if from their view their aim was on target and they released the shot at the right time, then the shot will land. So sometimes it'll let you get out a little bit further past where you were when you got shot, and it'll look like they're hitting you when they're not, when in fact they did actually hit you. It was just like half a second ago. A platypus? And Perry the platypus? Yes.
Platypus? Spicy nug.
Oh my gosh, Ninja Squid Splash and Junior, and there's Sub-Saver on both of them. Thermal Ink Dualies. And Respawn Punisher E-Leader. The E-Leader's the only normal one in this comp.
Got one. Got another.
One on the back. Great, there we go.
No beacons. I'm moving up.
You want me to... Here, I'll go fourth, Jamie.
Got one.
I got one.
Julie's on me. Got him. Just splash. They're
At
top
their
left.
base. At their base.
They're striking.
Woo! I just... Oh, I
They
got
do not
Price
know.
Strike. I didn't see.
Got one.
The one on the... Oh, there's two in front of you. Careful. Jamie, I'm gonna jump to you and back up.
Got
be
one.
careful.
Yep, just use me as bait. I'll go this way. Oh, wait.
Charge it down.
Never mind. Something got me from behind.
E-Leader
Someone
got me.
attacking Jamie, I think.
I'm back. Yeah, splash. Like that. Oh, you
Use
should-
me as bait.
Got him.
I remember people were
Oh
like
boy.
running
Yeah,
this
okay, we're good.
thing back like at the start of S3. Oh, they're misleader. Ow.
I'm gonna go bug the leader.
No one's on tower.
Got one.
Oh no.
I got it.
I'll run on Drigo.
Leader jumped.
Watch out there.
You can go forward.
Leader's probably gonna go on the left.
And hello, Octo fans.
Oh, leader got me. Never mind. I didn't get close
Oh,
enough.
they don't know. They don't know.
They have tower.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Here it is.
Well,
We're on the line of
oh
defense.
my god, I should have had that. Blah.
Out.
There we go. Oh, nice bomb. I think that was a bomb.
Yep. Put it on the tower.
Does this
Oh,
hit me?
down.
Crap, that hits me. I have no idea how that special works.
Leader's down. One's on the back left of bridge, and one's on the right side. Oh, I got somebody apparently.
Watch out.
They're on the tower.
They're up on their wall. I'm dead. Oh, never mind. I win.
It's up on
Nice.
the top right.
There's a beacon behind us somewhere.
Yeah, bomb right. Left.
Oh, ow.
Oh right, this is a Ninja Squid custom junior.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, everyone was like, come on, man. Okay, there you go.
Oh, that leader's gonna get me.
If I put this in front, doesn't actually help you, I think, but
Oh,
Oh no.
you jumped out.
one
Okay.
in front of tower. We got him.
There's one behind us. There's two behind us.
Well, that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
Hey, Hydra. I have no idea.
Huh?
They said that they're tired. Give me a random weapon. I'm tired of playing Slayers and close range shooters. I
Oh.
don't play Hydra.
Of course you would.
Yes, the vanilla ballpoint in Splatoon 2 had inkjet, but nobody played that one. Everyone played the ballpoint nouveau in that
They
game.
started to towards the end. Like it came out on like Anchovy and a couple other ones.
Yeah, there
but
was like
it was
one
more the rain
Japanese.
one.
There was one Japanese team that ran it in specifically. It was crap. What was the one that was unique to that? Skipper Pavilion. Like there was one Japanese team that used it there, and then I think people started experimenting from there. And yeah, it would make sense on Anchovy, but like it definitely
Nautilus
wasn't
is more
popular
popular.
anywhere near as much as the BPN was because of how well beacons synergize with that kit.
So having jet. So is it the better option?
Double dually. Oh, that Tetris is gonna go crazy.
Plus, I think they nerfed inkjet at some point. during...
Screen warning, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's a screen on the foil flingza. So those of you who are photosensitive or whatever,
I got one.
issues with the
I
audio,
got the flingza.
whatever it might be, just watch out
Oh,
for
I'm dead. Dually on the left.
walls, for screens. I will try to avoid them as much as I
Oh.
possibly can.
Oh, on the
but
left, Jamie. Watch out. You're alone.
Sometimes it just gets thrown on you, and it's really hard to react.
They have cooler at the ready and crab.
Got one off
I'm gonna get
tower.
screened.
Down.
One in our
Julie's
base.
in our base. The weak got him.
Two behind the tower.
Got two.
One more.
on tower.
Oh, there's one here. Dually.
Then there's one on far right. Oh my god, I shouldn't have this by now.
I got it.
Okay, thank you for making up for my terrible aim. Oh, mid. Jumping to mid, too.
Yeah, there.
Three top mid.
There will be three.
Lower. Got Tetris.
Okay, there's a dually on
Nice,
the
that's
right
two
or
down.
left. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Oh,
Found him.
I'm in trouble. There's a dually on me
Got him.
and a jump.
Got the
I hit him.
jump.
There we go. One more.
It's in front of me.
I tapped that edit.
Hit him
Tap the
once.
flingza.
Tetris left. Front tower.
What? Where'd they
Julie's
go?
behind tower.
Oh, watch out for the tree.
Yeah, I got
One
hit directly
jumping to the
by
heavy.
it.
Shoot. We're several down. Careful, Debbie. You're gonna get flanked.
Oh, I got one. Don't worry.
Nice.
They kind of used all of their dodges to run towards me. I'll have a Kraken going.
Yeah, they've been dodge rolling really early in some of these fights.
I killed one of the boys.
On left. Got him. Oh, roller as well. Got him.
Oh, tower and jumps to tower.
They've got a crab on it. I don't know if I can get in those.
Ooh,
Okay, I can. Traded. Crab on right and one on left.
I got
Dualies.
the dually.
Nice. Just
Crab might get
crab
me.
behind you.
I'm really weak. They're jumping in right. Just paint it because they're gonna dodge roll. Roller. I'm hitting everybody's backs.
I killed
Got
one of the
dualies.
I'm healing.
boys. I'm down.
Oh,
They're
roller
just
got
gonna
me. They're
keep
jumping to
jumping.
back mid.
Yep.
We need to keep the pressure up so they can't get
I got
jumps.
edit. I got edit. Heads up. There we go.
I got traded for that. Was it a bomb? Must have been a bomb. Top mid,
Oh,
they're
I
jumping
missed
back top
that.
mid. Back top mid.
I got him.
They have
I
a lot
died.
of quick respawns, so we gotta always just keep the pain up and going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Got one. Dropping in behind them.
Okay, I'm gonna look at tower. There's
Lily's
two.
weak over here. I need to back up.
I got
Might
edit.
die. I'm
There we
dead.
go. Right
got
side,
one
right
of them.
side, two.
Still behind
On our
right
dome.
tower.
Oh my god.
Crab's out looking at me. I'm dead. Crab.
Yeah, they
Crap.
fell off.
They're still
Drago,
jumping in.
tower,
On tower, on
Drago.
tower.
Okay,
Still one on tower.
That's a reef slider.
So unfortunate.
Oh no, I ran out of charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Sorry,
what you call the
guys.
hyper-aggressive comp.
I am going
What?
to switch to cooler because we've been playing at cooler advantage and we're finally getting punished for it.
There was a screen that absolutely messed me up.
There was one where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get hit by this, and then I ended up just being able to jump over it.
Yeah, I jumped over it once.
I was riding on tower and I just like it hit. I was like, well, it threw me pretty bad.
It happens. I will
You
say, I felt good against my matchup with the Tetras. Usually I struggle with Tetras, but I think these ones, they dodged all 4 rolls too early beforehand. So, I managed to get an upper hand on the Tetras.
Can you say go for stream snipers? You're not a stream sniper if you can't aim. Just get
They're in
good.
a sniper period.
Besides, what makes way more of a difference is how quickly matchmaking goes. Like, I don't know if it's gonna take me 100 seconds or 20 seconds. There, see, that one took like, what, 15? Sometimes it takes 2 full minutes. You never know.
One time though, it took like 200 seconds. So that was fun. No, Josh.
Drop roller or junior?
Painting for early cooler. Half there.
I didn't mark anybody.
Cooler ready. Going in. And I'm down.
I marked the machine. I'm about to get hit by that.
Jet jumped. Oh. What was that? Okay, zap on my ouch. Below left. They're marked.
It killed
2 by tower. Oh no.
Close cooler. Cooler out. Got one. One dropped right. Hit him twice. They're jumping out.
Oh, I'm down.
Or no, they're
Or not.
swimming out. They put a cooler down
That's
there.
Junior. Run down.
I got a tower
I
rider.
can't get in there. I need to stop tower.
I'm right here behind you.
Hit him twice. They're jumping to him.
Got one.
They're still jumping.
Killed 2 people.
Nice.
Got him.
Beautiful.
Where's Jet?
At spawn. Someone's coming out of spawn up the ramp.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay.
Thanks, Jet, like card.
I have Kraken.
Take down.
Getting cooler out and then I'll dive.
One's diving you.
Oh.
Woo!
Done the machine.
Where?
Machine weak. Got
Down
him.
here?
Wall.
Oh,
There you go.
okay. Woo! There's someone behind me shooting.
Jet. Yeah.
I'm trying to get tower, but it's
Got
not
him.
letting me on.
Another one on
Still
me.
down on the wall.
Got him.
One there's snipe, which is machine dropping down.
Got Junior.
One on this wall where I'm shooting.
Him.
Going in behind him.
There you go.
They're down. Nice.
One's top right, one's top left.
Cooler out for Drago.
Thank you.
Nothing
Oh,
in.
I fell off the tower.
Okay, never mind.
I got
Alright,
lead,
that's
but
lead.
there's 2 pushing
You
me.
can go forward.
Jumping in. Taking tower. Machine on tower. I hit him twice.
know
I'm
where
down.
the one was.
Nice.
I
Still
killed-
machine. Still machine right.
But I
Bottom
died.
right.
Wait, no, I didn't kill machine. Sorry.
All right. Jamie, you're alone.
Yeah, they
Debbie's
don't know where
way
I'm
down
at.
left.
Okay. I'm trying to get out.
That was a bad attempt by me to just back up.
Yeah.
Oh, I might be dead here.
I think it's a
Like
good
a
idea if you
Pokemon.
just wait a second longer because they had a bubble still, so that would have been
Yeah.
really annoying.
Oh, they're weak. Too weak by me. I need help.
Nice.
Got one.
I can't get up the wall.
Got two. Oh, bomb from behind. I don't know where. Okay.
They're jumping
get
in
from-
by me. They're jumping in
Get-
by me.
Jen,
I'm dead to
That's
machine.
weak.
Machine.
I need to leave. They've got rain. Careful, careful.
We're one down. We're two. Yeah, okay. Bottom right is one. Trying to paint it a little bit.
Jen,
might have
me,
went
got
up.
him.
Oh, the bubble. Booyah.
Booyah bomb.
Still tower. Got him.
I got it. Back on zone. They are cooler jump.
They're jumping.
Oh,
Got
we
one. Jet's gonna get me. No, they're not. Jet weak. Didn't get him.
How did I miss that? There's a zap
Cooler
on the bottom
entrench.
somewhere.
Got machine. Traded.
There's a
What's in
zap
here?
there too. Oh, I got him. Jet's on bunk. Thank you.
Got somebody.
I have Kraken. 2 ramp.
One ride.
Machine down.
Oh, I'm down.
Junior weak. Got him.
Someone's
Oh,
coming
I
up
got a
left
bomb. I
wall.
didn't see the bomb.
Oh.
I'm back
Hey,
though.
you.
30 seconds. We have lead.
Those bombs.
Jen, one other behind tower. I've got to leave. 2 bottom right trench. They're coming up the right.
They put a wall on the tower. I'm trying to break it, but there's 2 going at me. They put cooler out.
Got one off zone, off tower.
I got another off tower.
Can't see.
Yep.
There you go.
Whew, okay, that was 1 point.
Oh my goodness.
Again?
Again.
I think that's the third 1 pointer this whole set.
How was
Whew. Random option for weapons. Yeah, it would be a nice little feature to include. I think there are a bunch of like sources online where you can get a randomizer. Like if you have SpikeBot in a Discord server, it'll randomize weapons for you.
Ooh. I think I got a partial adrenaline rush from that one. Surprised I only died twice. That was something.
I'm looking at my assists.
Mine's probably just as much.
I'm dying a little bit too much. I think I'm just taking bad engagements.
Considering how we are, you're definitely helping up the front, so it's fine with you going down kind of there. But I think if you can grab Gem's cooler and then go in with the cooler, as long as you have cooler back, I think you're fine.
So
Okay.
Jamie only had 1 assist. Devi had 9 and I had 10.
Yeah. Jamie was the slayer.
I probably need to
rematch.
be more careful going in.
Yeah. I still got enemy splatter because I still have 14 on top of the 10 assists, but
Meanwhile,
it was a lot closer than it looked.
Mine was split in half. I got bucket. Another one top mid.
They dropped right,
One right.
pushing them. They're stuck. Traded. This is the
One on
same
the
team we
left.
just played, by the way.
Yeah, there's one on the left. I marked it. I
Oh,
marked the
top
junior.
level. Okay.
Oh, there's one on the tower. I need help. I need help.
They're pushing into right. Machine down. Got another. One on top
Nice
mid.
tower.
Ah,
Just
They
on the
bubbled.
left.
They're jumping in. Got the
Good
one.
job. There you go.
Putting out cooler before I die, which will happen.
What got you? Oh, that.
I'm almost in my bubble. Gotta place it down.
Watch the right side drop.
Watching it. They're marked.
Yep, there's somebody.
Got him.
Oh.
Oh, DC, no!
Ah.
I think it was in time. I think we have to play it out.
Yep.
Oh, machine got me.
Like right by you.
Okay, well, I am now a cooler support. That is my job now.
Oh, there's one above me. Out I go. Never mind, they go faster than I can paint.
The heck? I
Okay.
forgot.
Got one and down.
Heads up, Jamie. Heads up, Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh,
They have bubble.
Mark the jet.
So do I.
Oh, crap. I ran
One on the
into
right.
someone.
Got it.
Should I- Oh, but they smoke screens their teammate. They actually lose now.
There we go.
Cooler out on left.
Zap got me. They're weak though.
What's in front of me?
Zap.
Zap or something?
I don't know.
Zap.
Zap.
Yeah, the zap. I got one.
2 left, 1 right.
I got the zap, but they're coolered.
Yeah, Jet's on left. Dome. They might go in
Oh,
now.
there's one on tower. One on tower.
Jet
That's the
weak.
bubble.
Didn't get him. 3 left. 3 left. Careful.
Like, they're weak. They're really weak. I got machine.
Nice. Machine down. There's someone coming through right.
Two.
I died of rain. Oh, no, I don't.
You'll live.
Got one.
2 middle.
Pushing top mid. Weak.
One right flank. Right flank. Ends up. Got it.
Down. No one got a schooler. That's. Got you.
Cooler
Nice.
ready.
Jamie, you're gonna have to help me front there.
Cooler's on back mid. I can watch up front.
There's one on dome. 2 on dome.
Bubble. Gonna get shredded though.
I got one.
Got one.
Cool.
There's one behind me.
One drop right.
I'm on tower.
Okay, this is just for safety. Heads up, Jamie. Bucket. Bomb.
I didn't have nothing to.
Got one.
Machine's weak there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna push it. I need health.
I gotta move. Jet!
Alright, I'm down to machine.
One's pushing you,
One
Jamie.
on left, yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Got it.
Okay, I'm gonna go really conservative until I get cooler. Oh,
Got Junior.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, no bubble.
Let me know when you have cooler, Gem. I'm not gonna use my special till you have.
I'm half.
Oh, there's a
one
machine
left.
here. I have
Got
to
him.
use it. Got one.
Cooler ready.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Junior.
It's going out in here.
I'm just gonna go in normally. I'm
Double
not gonna be able to
cannon.
get cooler. 45,
one on
45,
tower.
45.
Ah, I got bummed.
We're staggered. Jamie, you're alone?
Good Junior.
Nice.
Watch your left. Watch your left. Be sure that Junior can't get bubbled. Booyah.
Got one.
On me.
One
On me.
tower
On me.
still.
That's 3 down. Just machine.
They're on tower.
I'm weak. Down.
They're
Down
cut
tower.
off. Got one.
job.
One more tower. Back a
On
tower.
tower. I need
Got
help.
him. They're
Thank
jumping
you.
to it.
Tapping.
Jumper's
I'm gonna
down.
die.
One behind it. Jumper weak. One shot.
Good. Keep
Behind
paint.
the
Keep paint.
Bumper. They're jumping to it.
Nice.
Still jump. Still jump.
Yep. Still
Nice.
jumps. Good job.
+8.
One top mid. They're jumping to it.
Bubble.
I have Kraken. I got one.
Still one on tower with Jamie. Nice.
I
Got
can't get on the tower where it's positioned. Did you hear me bonk my head? It actually made the notification of the head bonk.
Alrighty.
Oh my goodness.
I got overall splatter. But how many were assists?
I didn't even check.
Jamie, you did a good job baiting people to me. I'm not gonna lie, you took fights, turned around, their back was turned to me, and I could pick them off. So,
Mhm. I
Thank you.
essentially went rats.
It worked.
I'll let I mute.
All right,
Turn the-
and now we will stop so that you can join back in.
Or are you starting reviews now?
Oh, yeah, we can do one more. We can do one more. Let me
It's not
check
letting me
Discord and
join
see
it.
if, yeah, I don't see anything from
Can I also
others
say
leave.
that our overall KAs are 18, 19, and 20? I only died twice. Holy smokes. With Kraken. Let's go!
All right, Leaf will not be able to join it. I mean, it would only be for one more game, but Leaf will not be able to join us. So we'll just finish out here, and then we'll go to VOD review from there. And they'll definitely be here by the time it's time for their VOD review. We'll just do Drago first, and then it should work out fine.
Getting 5-star for Junior.
It works. I'm close to getting it on Deco, but I need to get a couple Hydra games in.
And GG, Poppy Senior Bro, Poppy Sir Bro, Poppy Senior Bro. I don't know. Poppy
Yeah,
Sir.
they were the Zap.
The Zap, yeah. That was the Zap.
And hi, Goldheart.
Oh, I think you could just tell when we were out. It's like, okay, we need to take this a little seriously now.
It's not like we weren't before, but now it's like, I go comp
Well,
mode, initiate.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean, like comp mode.
We gamer leaned. We locked in. Yeah, like I was saying, okay, I need to actually play support Zap now. Not like I exactly hadn't, but like I needed to make sure that basically every engagement we took, we had a cooler ready.
We stayed alive.
Because otherwise, it's really easy for us to lose pace.
Darn man.
Labo.
Poppy Bros Senior, best
They
Kirby
better be
enemy.
playing
Okay.
bow. Dang.
That's really dooley.
Double
Respawn
edit.
Punisher edit on one of them, but I don't know which one it is.
Respawn Punisher drop roller.
Yeah, and the other one's got curling bomb.
Okay, so double cooler is a thing. Honestly, this might be a real comp.
I got 2.
Okay, well,
Traded.
Okay, the
Cool.
last one alive is
Last
the
one's right.
Respawn Punisher one.
Get
Punish
him.
him.
cool.
Yeah.
No, oh, there's a jump here.
Okay, which one is that one?
The
What did
respawn.
it look like? Yeah, but what did it look like?
I didn't think to
Okay.
check.
I don't look at people's clothes.
I have Booyah Bomb, Jamie, if you can take for a second.
Traded dualies. I'll be jumping back in.
I got one. Going back to take. They're all 3 together in a line. Oh, that's a Zuka! I'm dead.
That's my favorite bomb in the entire game.
What?
Got
Zuka?
2.
Next. Oh, here they come.
Hi, Jamie. How you doing?
How you doing? I was in that snapper game. Where it's like, hiya, Debbie. You're like,
I know.
Jamie!
Oh, there was the one where you jumped on and just absolutely, I think you helped bop me off or something like that, but I was just like, what? It was one of those, you're dragging Black Diablos to me moments, but
Exactly.
in Splatoon. That's exactly what that was.
I'm not. I was just so like that one. The snapper game was not intentional, but the Black Diablo.
The
song
one was, and I'm like, you're going to kill me.
So Erica the Red asks, how do you know a team you run into in Open is coordinated? One of the first things that you look for is if they have a similar tag. Like, you can see that Life Up and CJ Afro had these, like, carrots around their name. So that was one thing. I wasn't sure about the other two, and it might not have been the other two were, but one of the things you can look for is, does their comp make any sense at all? Which I felt their team sort of did, because, like, you can get away with running double cooler on that map. Double-headed is definitely unconventional, but I could see it if they're running a more, like, mid-range comp. And, like, otherwise the specials made a lot of sense, and the weapons kind of complemented each other, so... Seeing is how we blew through that as quickly as we did. I'm having second thoughts. It might have just been that those two members were together and that the others were randos. but I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen a competitive team running something like that. So, hey, Barnman, here's the way that we figure it out. Were you lobbied up with the rest of those guys, or were those randos? There's the answer to our question.
The other thing, this could be an awareness thing, but if you're a frontliner and you know, like, you're sharking that nobody could see you, and somebody just immediately finds you, typically you're getting called out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that people are coordinating. If you find that either they're all launching attacks in a certain manner, they're not just one-on-one feeding. You can see that they're moving together. They have an idea of what they're doing. But a lot of times I get it for when one of my front lines is sharking and someone just immediately knows that they're there when they really shouldn't. If it was just like solo or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, they got called out. I'm like,
it's like if you splat someone and that person's watching the kill cam and letting their teammates know so they know exactly where to snap, that's another really clear... That's what Devi was just describing there. So... still no answer from Barnman, but we'll await.
we're playing Leap Squid.
So, Drago, do you have a replay code or a link to a recording that we can look at right now?
Leap Squid.
Hold on, I gotta leave the room to look at the replays.
Alright, well, have fun in the VOD
guys.
review.
Thanks, Devi. Thanks, Jamie.
You're welcome.
I'll find a solo win and a solo lose.
We're only going to have time for one, so pick your favorite.
Oh, okay.
Also, hello, the person with the longest name in my entire chat. Lesbian, Catboy, Cammy, Simps for Red Soul Part 1 with hearts around it.
Okay.
Am I just going to call you that? Or do I call you Cammy? Like, we gotta work something out here. What's up?
Wait, I'll take a picture of the code and send it to you.
Perfect. Okay. Gem is S+5. Once you hit S+, people do not care about the extra pluses on the S+. They care about your X rank. It's a better system anyway. It's not going to reward you for doing things that don't win games. And the matchmaking is significantly better as well. There we go.
I sent you one.
Yep, I've seen it. So. And I will get this screen shared in just a second. I just need to get this code put in. But then you'll be able to look from Discord, and there won't be any stream delay.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh my god. Missed input. Oh, that's the worst. That is the absolute worst part of this entire UI. I hate it.
Real.
Cannot believe that it does that. Okay, we go again. Okay. I hate when you say nah. It doesn't kick you back to the keyboard screen. It's just like, okay, all 16 of the characters that you entered are gone now, and you have to menu back in. Why would you spend all of this time typing it in if you didn't want to try again? Who thought this up? No cute animals. I don't do that for replay codes. I just do that for passwords so that people don't try to snipe us and get into the lobby before other people are supposed to be able to. Okay. So, here we go. Just catching up with chat real quick. Alrighty. So, we are playing Bloblobber here. And we've got a Squiffer. I'm surprised to see you playing Blob since you were playing dualies the entire time earlier. Like, is this one of your? Is this really your main weapon?
I usually only use Blob Lobber for zones because it doesn't always work very well in other maps.
Okay.
I try to use dualies for everything else.
Gotcha.
This was actually from a tournament I did a couple days ago. That's why
Okay.
it's a private battle.
Interesting. All right. So we've got there's a lot of stuff going on with the comp. We've got a Nautilus, a Squiffer. That's the vanilla Squiffer, so that's going to have Bubble. Bubble does make sense for zones. Rain makes sense for zones. The specials, so we've got double Rain, but the specials do make a certain amount of sense. I would definitely, on any competitive team comp, I always recommend running at least one Tacticooler. I think that the advantage that it gives you is just too big to pass up. Like we were talking about on Umami briefly, there are actually cases for double cooler right now. And whenever you're running 2 of 1 special on a comp, like that usually means it's pretty busted. So that is something that I'd always recommend trying to work into the comp however you can. One really easy way to work that in here would be to put it on your Aerospray. So instead of having the Booyah Bomb, you've got the cooler. Another way you could do it is by putting your Nautilus on Heavy Edit instead. You could have your Squiffer player play Pencil instead. Like, you've got all sorts of options for weapons that are very similar to what you're currently playing that you could easily swap over onto a cooler. And you could even, like, if they don't want to play the cooler version of the weapon and they'd rather play this instead, you could have it so that you can rotate between those players so that, like, one of them plays cooler this game, one of them plays cooler this game, and they get to kind of rotate and play the weapons they want most of the time while still having a Tacticooler every time.
We usually tried to put a Tacticooler in most of our comps, but for this, I'm not sure why we didn't this time.
And you lucked out because they didn't end up putting a cooler in either. And they could have put it on their E-Leader player, they could have put it on their Dapples player. Like, they also had a bunch of options for how they could have done this, and they decided not to, so it works out, and it's not going to have an impact on this match, but also realize that you easily could have a massive advantage by playing a cooler when they're not playing a cooler. Like, that's actually the best case scenario, where they don't have one and you do, because then their respawn time is 10 seconds, and your respawn time is 3. That's not fair. So that's something to think about. Another thing that I'm looking at here is that you don't have a lot of pushing power. You don't have weapons that are going to be fantastic at walking forward toward the enemy team and pushing them out of the way. You don't have very many weapons that are going to like to play around blind corners, that are going to be like to play around cover. Like, but your Aerospray and your Nautilus are probably the 2 most aggressive weapons in the sense of, like, how far forward they're going to play and how much space they're going to take, but the Nautilus is going to usually prefer that someone distracts so that it can hit its shots instead of pushing up by itself and starting the fight. And the Aerospray, it gets shredded like tissue paper unless it's within range to smooch someone. It's just way too short range, and its shot spread is absolutely disgusting. It's really, really bad. Unless you are so close that none of those shots will miss, even if they're going off at 45-degree angles from themselves. So you're lacking a lot in, like, forward pressure. Having something like, there are a lot of weapons that do this in current meta because it's, you know, important to have, but something like Splatter Shot, something like a V-Bucket, which isn't the most aggressive weapons, but, like, it would be more aggressive than anything you've got here. Having something like a Range Blaster that can run in if you want to keep the range but want to be able to push in a little bit harder. You could run a 52 of some kind. What else? I'm totally missing a few. There are some, like, sharking weapons that you still need to paint for and you still need to set up for, but they can at least try to sneak in somewhere and get something started. So, like a Carbon Roller or a V-Roller. So there are a lot of things that you can add in that will help that. Dualies as well, V-Dualies, or even if you want to run N-Parries. N-Parries are probably just kind of outclassed by V-Dualies, but they would still do the job better than what you have assembled currently. What I'm worried about for your team here is that they have a Dapples and an Enparries that will push in better than anything else on your team. So while you might have them beat on defense, like if those two weapons try to run into you and you play your positioning right, you should be able to stop them from getting toward you. The problem is that once you get splats, it'll be a lot slower for you to move forward and take space. It'll take you a lot longer when you win an advantage to be able to do anything with it, because you don't have people that are going to be able to rush in really quickly and take that space. So that's going to be more challenging.
Yeah.
One other thing to watch out for is that they will have missiles and an E-Leader. So the missiles and the E-Leader are going to be able to attack you from further back than anything on your team can. And sometimes you might just need to like give up ground. If the E-Leader's watching you, you may need to just kind of back up and not do too much when the missiles are out. So make sure we're playing around those timers. Let's get going. So the big advantage that you're going to have as a bloblobber is simply that you're going to paint more than them. And that's basically what you've got to work with. In the left and right side, you will be able to like bounce blobs off of walls, which is kind of nice. So this definitely isn't a bad blob map, but you have to still be careful about if you get rushed down. Like, you can't put yourself in a position where they have the time to out DPS you. An E-Leader one-shots you, so you can't be on its sight line basically ever. The Dapples are one of the fastest splatting weapons in the game that doesn't one-shot. And then the Enparries aren't that far behind. So if one of them gets on top of you and you don't have a shot aimed perfectly, any of those weapons will splat you first. And you need to be using your positioning to account for that rather than just trying to out-aim them or something.
Yeah.
I didn't screen share. That is a good point. I have the projection open. I just didn't share the projection.
No
There it is. Sorry about that. All right, you able to see now?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so we get set up on the zone and we're painting the zone. Now, I would usually recommend not standing in the middle here, because if someone starts rushing you, think about, like, where is the nearest source of cover for you to get behind? Right and left are, like, way too far away. Those are completely out of the question. So all you can do is swim backwards and wait for your character to fall down. And that's not going to change the way they have to aim very quickly. A lot of weapons are going to be able to splat you before that happens. So you generally don't want to position around the middle unless you're already behind the ledge there and you're just shooting up over the top of that. Either that or you want to be on the right side or the left side so that you have closer access to those sources of cover. And that's why.
Yeah.
That is exactly why you do not put yourself in that position. Turn Drago up. Okay, sure thing. I will do so. Okay, Drago, say some words.
Some words.
All right. Was that better for chat there? Or was that too loud? Did I overdo it? Meantime, I've pulled Leaf up into the chat. We are going to be doing Drago's VOD review first here, Leaf, but good to have you up here. All right, better. Thanks, y'all. Always tell a streamer if there are audio issues, because the streamer has a hard time hearing them, and they would rather fix the stream than just go on not knowing why people aren't watching.
Real.
So, all right. So we're going to swim out here, and one of the things that I'm paying attention to right now, because I'm not in danger, is collecting information about what the game state is, what it's going to be like when I get there. This is the time to be checking the map. This is the time to be looking up at the top of the screen and seeing who's up and who's down. Now is the time to be looking and seeing the X's and the positions of our teammates. So right now I know that you have a teammate who's on the left-hand side, and they're in there by themselves because the two people on our side are them and us, and that's it. So that teammate is alone, and one of the first things I would be doing here is calling to them that they're last, that they should be backing up, getting out of there if they possibly can. One thing they could possibly do, for example, is they could drop into the left alleyway and super jump back to spawn if they need to. If they don't, if they're not being pressured quite as hard, they could just swim backwards, but it looks like there's some yellow ink in between them and us, and that might be dangerous to try. So I'd be trying to get them out of there, because there are 3 enemy players, and there's only one of them. So the enemy team doesn't push this anywhere near as hard as they should. Like, they should already be underneath you, having cleared your teammate out of the way. They wasted a lot of time getting the zone. They don't even have it capped yet. They won a fight, but it looks like they haven't even realized that they've won the fight because they're not securing the zone. As a general rule in splat zones, you get the zone first and then you fight. And that's different from every other mode. But the reason you do that is that if you get the zone, now you're scoring while the fight is happening. And you get more points that way. Usually with something like Tower Control, Rainmaker, if you try to play the objective before you've won a fight, you're at a disadvantage for that fight. But in splat zones, if you can get the zone to cap and then just send all of your players forward, all of them are in, you know, a normal state. It's not like they've got a big glowing anchor icon above their heads giving away their position. So you can just kind of get the objective, and then anytime that you earn, even if you completely lose that fight, even if you screw up royally, you're still scoring during all of the time that you're fighting. And so you're still gaining points. And if you end up winning, well, now that's just a head start on the KO. So they're doing it wrong, where they should be getting the zone first. Like, as soon as they have the painting potential to get the zone, they should be trying to secure it. And then they should be rushing your teammate and making sure they can't stay here. What they should have done is capped the zone very quickly, because all your teammate had to, you know, prevent them from doing that was 1 squiffer. So they should be able to paint through it. Then, knowing where the squiffer is, knowing the squiffer doesn't have enough paint to swim away anywhere, they should be getting across the zone while the squiffer's looking someplace else and cutting their retreat off and kind of 2v1ing them so that they have to back up and they eventually have to leave. So whether that means throwing bombs at them, flanking them, whatever it takes, they should be clearing you out a lot faster. Good job getting up here and immediately starting to paint the zone. It's unfortunate that you don't end up getting it. One thing that I would recommend with your painting here is that you really want to be doing less painting the same place twice in a row. Like these last 2 shots that you just fired, they're landing right on top of each other. Most of the paint that gets put down here is redundant. It's paint that's already going over the top of something you've painted before, and it's not giving you anything new. What you want to do here is kind of go back and forth. So like one line of droplets hits the right side of the zone, and then another line hits the left side of the zone. And another thing that you can do with the Bloblobber is, while the shot is coming out, if you keep changing your aim, you can spread the shots out so that they land in different places. I'll demonstrate really quickly once the loading finishes up. It's very similar to the way that a vanilla slosher works, where it has a whole bunch of hitboxes that are all firing at different times, and if you're aiming at different places while they're firing at different times, they'll spread out, they'll fan out, and you'll cover more area with them. Here's a blob. So here's them in a straight line, and then here's what happens if I curve them, and I might mess this up once or twice, but we'll see. There we go. So you see how they spread out like that?
Yeah.
That could be a way to maybe deal more damage to more different players. That could be a way to spread the ink out a little bit. That was a little bit less, but you can see it's a wider trail than it was over here. So, like, look at how little extra paint is getting put down when I fire all of these. But then, look at what happens if I do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just painted so much more of the zone than I do by doing this. So always avoid doing this. Find ways to spread the shots out. Find ways to get new turf to paint with every slosh that you're putting down. And that'll get you a lot more value in terms of painting with it.
I keep nodding, but I keep forgetting you can't see me nod.
Should I type in here the Discord? Send me a DM on Discord. That's probably the quickest way that I'll notice. And like, if you need to get my attention, I mean, you're in the voice chat, so if you wanted to say something, you could. But if you'd prefer to chat, like to text chat, then just yeah, probably through DMs would be best. Okay. TOing goes to Boston. I'll take whatever kind of match you want me to look at. Whatever you're trying to get better at. Alright. So, let's see. I think I went a little bit further ahead than I was ready for. So yeah, like, this is like, I think 4 shots in a row that are all hitting the same spot. And if you just put a couple of these on left zone, that does a lot more. Left zone would also make it so that this brush player can't get across the zone on the left-hand side. If you had painted their feet there, especially if, like, can you see my mouse on Discord? You probably can't there or on stream.
Yeah.
You cannot?
Yep.
Okay. So if you were to bounce it off the left wall so that, like, the blobs go towards the wall and then bounce back and go back onto the zone again, now you're getting blobs in their way even worse because now they have 2 trails of ink that they have to paint through to get forward instead of just 1. So that could also be something that you try to do. So we do eventually, you know, narrow down their position and catch them. I will say part of the reason you're able to do this is because they're standing still for too long. They got a pick. They got their 2 swings that they needed to splat your teammate, but they kept swinging after that, and so they were standing still for a lot longer. Ideally, what a player does here is get the 2 swings, and then they immediately drop back down into the ink and swim away so that they avoid being traded back. But good job helping with your teammate there and getting rid of that player. And I like that you're also aiming more towards the right side of them so that if they try to run away, they can't, and they're forced to stay in there so that even if you don't get them, Jinx over here on the Nautilus can finish them off from there. And notice how you actually hit someone and your shot was more successful and painted more when you switched sides on the zone. Like, you were aiming at the left, and then as soon as you aimed at the right, it caught someone off guard and you hit them. That's why you kind of want to go back and forth more. The more you do that, the less predictable your shots are going to be, and the more likely you are to hit someone, to mess something up, to paint the zone. So, once you see the E-leader that far forward charging a shot, you got to get out of there, because that E-leader does have range to hit the glass from here. Like, really, you probably should have gotten splatted already, because, like, you can see the E-leader's taken 2 shots at you here, and they've just missed. So this is one of the problems with trying to run Bloblobber on this map. It's just that if it gets outranged by anything, it's really hard for it to have as much of an impact. Like, you tried standing in mid, the E-leader got you. You're trying to stand up here, the E-leader is getting you, or should be getting you. So staying around the right or left side would be a safer place for you to be painting from here. And they miss you a third time there. Miss you a fourth time there. Every time that an E-liter gets a shot, and there's nothing in the way of that shot, and they have the range to hit you, what I want you to do anytime you're like watching a replay or something is assume that they hit you there. Like, just assume that every single time you give them one of those shots, you're going to go down. Because there will come a point where the players are good enough that they just simply do not miss if you give them a shot. And so here, they missed you 4 or 5 times in a row while they were standing in the same place and aiming directly at you every time. And every single one of those shots could have hit you. So while you ended up surviving, if you stay in that habit of not reacting to the laser, of not getting away from the laser as soon as it's in range, you'll end up hurting yourself in the long run because you'll start to get hit by more and more charger shots.
Yeah.
I like that you're noticing that your teammate's going down and you're trying to respond. This is a really awkward angle for you to be able to respond from. I'm not expecting that you're able to get too much from here. What you do probably want to be doing is, if you're going to go for this player, aim a little further in front of them than you think you have to. For one thing, your weapon's just really slow. So, like, by the time you've fired a shot, that player's probably moved past where you're aiming the shot. But for another thing, they're going to be moving, and you've got to lead your shots so that even if you miss, you're missing in front of them. If you miss in front of them, you're painting their feet so that they can't move forward anymore. If you're missing behind them, they just get to keep swimming as fast as they want to. So always err on the side of cutting off where they're trying to go, instead of erring on the side of aiming where they used to be. But you do catch them there because they just run it into the wall instead of using it to get away. So nice. And now I like that we're moving forward here. This is good. You're recognizing that the game state has changed and that now it's time for our team to shove them further out of the way. We do still need to be careful about the E-liter. The E-liter's still there on the top left, and if we give them shots, like we said, we should assume that we go down every time we do. But you can probably move up, because like right here, there's not much for you to paint. Everything in front of you has already been painted. I guess you can contest the paint that this player on the right is going to be putting down. But what you could also do is move up and use the middle area, the pole, as cover. And then you might have an angle to hit that player who's marked. And right now, remember how at the beginning I was talking about how our comp is a little bit weaker because we don't have a lot of ability to push forward and take space from the enemy team? This right here is a great example of why that's a problem. Because if we had a really aggressive weapon, like a 52 gal, like a shot, even if we had something like a squeezer, we could probably get ourselves up in front of the zone and put ourselves in between them and the zone. So instead of them being able to stand and shoot at the zone while they're fighting us, they have to fight us first and then paint the zone. And that saves us a lot of time. Like, even if we lose a fight, we get more points ticking down on the zone because they have to fight us first, then they have to get to the zone, then they have to paint the zone, instead of being able to fight us and paint the zone all at the same time.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So I like that Furry Ball is up there trying to fight over that space, because that's something we want a frontliner to be able to do. I don't even dislike that they're up there in theory. The problem is that we need someone up there with them. And we don't really have any other weapons that like to do that. And that's why they're just getting shredded right away. But it's not even a bad play if we have a comp that's set up a little bit better to help it. So you got a lot of picks there. The dualies really screwed up not splatting you immediately, and you're actually able to trade them, which is great. You probably just don't get an opportunity to do anything about that if they aim well, but hey, you take what you can get. And you got like 3 picks on the zone there, which is high value, and it's just unfortunate that we weren't able to hold our position. I'm gonna check really quickly. What's going on in chat? Why are we spamming? Y'all don't spam the chat. I'm looking for actual questions, not for the letter H. All right. So here we go. All right, I'm going to start banning people for spamming the H in chat. Got it out. If so now that we're down in numbers, we want to be careful going in. We want to make sure that we're not going in until it's safe to do that. If the E-leader's watching us, then we need to be very careful about what they can see, and we don't really want to do too much until there's something the E-leader has to respond to. Anytime during these fights, they could have used their sub. Yeah, the sub is probably a good thing on this map to set up at before you try to do too much too risky. And one of the best things to do with this sub weapon is to put it really high up on the top right or top left around the zone. Because it's really annoying for someone to spot and figure out how to splat. Like, they have to be looking right up into the sky, and they're not going to see a lot out of their peripheral vision that way. But it's going to just give you passive paint on the zone the entire time it's out there. So you don't want to be looking up yourself and trying to line that up really carefully while someone's shooting at you. You want to do that when you have a safe moment to set it up. And then you can just kind of leave it there, and it'll get you some passive paint randomly until someone on the enemy team figures it out. Now, they do have an E-leader, so it might be difficult in some cases to keep it safe from the E-leader just shooting it down. But so be it, you know. Waste of your time, waste of their time. It comes out about even. And if they don't notice it, then you get a lot of extra paint on the zone. Again, we're coming up here on top left, or top right here. Remember that this is a spot that the E-leader can see. They showed that a couple of times, and they didn't really punish you for coming up here because, you know, before. But we could see that there were a number of shots that they could have hit, and we don't want to give them that opportunity. Now, I probably wouldn't come up here yet, and the reason for that is I'm noticing that our court, so that's the area below you here, is already painted the enemy color, which means I don't know for sure that there isn't somebody on the enemy team that's in there. Our Squiffer was just down there, and they went down to something. It could have been the E-leader, but we didn't really get a good chance to see. And right here, you can see as your teammate goes up into Booyah, there's a flash of yellow over on the left. Now, this is something you probably just didn't notice, but this kind of thing is really important to notice in Splatoon, and it's something to train yourself to be looking for so that more and more often you catch stuff like this. Whenever there's something that is the enemy color in a place where you didn't know the enemy was, and it's moving, that means that there's an opponent closer to you than you thought. There is a paintbrush, we can tell because that's the only AoE weapon on their team. Everything else would be a straight line of fire, but this one's out in a cone in front of it. There's a paintbrush right underneath you to the left. And if you just go up on top of the glass, for all you know, they're looking at you, and they're going to hit you from below. Right now, they're going after your Booyah user, but for all you know, as you're approaching there, they could just be waiting to shred your Booyah user, and if you don't help them before the Booyah comes down, then, force that player away, then your arrow spray might just go down immediately. As we swam forward, we actually saw that player swim away, so it ends up not being as much of a problem, although I think they end up getting your... Yeah, they end up getting your Nautilus down there on the right. Oh, actually, okay, so that's the paintbrush I think you're looking at there, and it was somebody else who got your Nautilus. But generally, like, we want to be noticing those signs of enemy players, because otherwise we kind of just go in blind and end up getting ourselves splatted. I think that our team is pushing up too fast here. Both Furry Ball and Jinx. Was it Jinx's or just Jinx? I think it was Jinx. Right, because it's with a K. So yeah. So Jinx and Furry Ball here, they're pushing forward into space that's painted the enemy color. Instead of painting so that it's safe for them to swim forward, they're kind of jumping into enemy ink. So now it's really easy for the enemy team to see them. They don't have a lot of room to move. If they get any pressure put on them, if they get their feet painted, they have nowhere to go. And on top of that, it's hard for them to see where the enemy players are. One of the reasons that you paint is so that you have vision on the enemy team. So that, like, even if you don't splat them by painting that spot, you saw them move. And now you're like, oh, okay, so there's one there. Got it. Whereas if you just dive in without painting, that player who is sharking there might just surprise you. So we went down by pushing in too quickly, and now the enemy team is behind us. We've been playing up here, you know, for both of these attempted retakes, and the E-Leader has been looking at us the entire time that we've been up there. So because we've been taking a predictable position, they do finally, 2.5 minutes, or a minute and a half into the game, find this shot and take you out of there. Now, you were already in trouble because of the player that was sneaking in behind you, and there were a lot of things that were going south very quickly there, but that was the one that ended up sinking you there. So the lessons to take from this are, 1, don't push up until you know what's below you. You know what's in that ink, what's waiting for you. Figure out where the enemy players are first, then go, because then you're a lot more likely to be successful. And even though it takes longer to figure out where they are, you'll save more time in the long run by not going down, by not getting wiped. Secondly, when you roll out, keep track of positions that you've been in before, and try to go to different places. The faster the game gets, you know, the higher level the game gets, the more unpredictable you need to be, the more you need to be moving from position to position. So, at my level, I'm not thinking like, oh, I rolled out on glass twice, you know, in a row, I'm not going to go there again. I'm thinking like, I was on glass 2 seconds ago, and they looked at me, and now I don't want to be there anymore. So now I want to move all the way over to the left, and I want to move back and forth, and I want to just constantly be in different places so that even on this one retake push that I'm doing, I don't want them to be able to keep track of where I am, let alone moving out there repeatedly over and over again and just staying up there. And the last thing is, once your teammates start going down, be aware that the impulse for the enemy team is going to be to push forward, to take more space away from you. And so, as your two teammates went down, I would have been backing up right away, because I know the enemy team is going to run forward at me now, and I want to be able to fight them instead of getting surrounded by them. I want to be able to keep them all in one line. I don't want one behind me and one in front of me. I want them all in front of me so I can look in one direction and I see everything that's going on. Because these dualies got in behind you, you were kind of focusing on that, and you ended up getting shot in the back. All right. There we go. So we've got one chance left to take the zone here, but one thing that's really good is that you'll notice below you, they've painted more, and you should be able to move forward a little bit more safely, a little bit more quickly now. And from here, having gotten a player down, we have a pretty good chance of getting to the zone. But we've got to recognize that if we don't get the zone back right now, we lose the game. So, especially once it gets down to about 15 ticks, we need to focus on painting the zone first, getting the splats second. Obviously, as we go out there, it's going to be an obstacle course. We're going to need to be dodging E-Leader lasers. We're going to need to be figuring out where stuff is. But there's only so much time left, and the way that we get back into this game is by securing the zone, and that needs to happen soon. So we've got to go. I wouldn't even take, like... You can probably aim higher up on that wall and be able to paint the whole thing in only one shot instead of needing two. And then you want to get up there as quickly as you possibly can if this is the direction you're going. So they've used their splashdown early. They probably should have used that at a different time. Unfortunately, we're going to the same spot that we have every time so far, and the E-Leader's catching on, and the E-Leader's starting to hit those shots. So this is another situation where we probably need to move ourselves. And what I'd probably do is try to come in from the left side this time, so that if they're looking up at the glass, they're not seeing me. And maybe that way you could also help clear out the paintbrush that's been causing trouble on the left side for the rest of your team. But the rain does end up doing enough work that between your teammates and the rain, you're able to get it capped. And now Jinx should have an easy fight win against the E-Leader, and we're back in it. And good choice to jump back in. The rest of the team had been cleared out, so now it should be pretty safe. Good job. Here, so this is a really small mechanical thing, but I think it's something that's going to save you a lot of time and, like, win you a lot more fights. So let's get to the point where you jump. Alright. So, we put a couple of shots out there, and again, I don't think you really need those shots. I would spend that time moving forward instead to try and support Furry Ball as they try to get into the enemy base. That's really probably more Jinx's MO, but Jinx is a little bit hurt right now, and they could use a little bit of help to cover for Furry Ball. So you're going in on this paintbrush here, and I want you to pay attention to when you start shooting and when you actually have a straight line between you and them where you can hit them. Right now, you haven't actually gotten all the way around the piece of cover. There are a lot of ways that you could aim much closer to them than you are currently, where you'll miss. For example, if you aim just a little too far to the right, you'll bounce things off the middle pole, and they'll actually bounce to the left too far away from this player. What I want you to do here is swim a little bit further past the cover so that you have more of an angle where you can hit them before they can get behind cover. Right now, all they have to do is take one step to their left or your right, and they're behind cover. Whereas if you swim a little bit further out and then fire, now they're further from any source of cover and you're more likely to actually hit your shots. On top of that, you make the aiming task easier for you because there's less of a likelihood that you bounce it off that wall and it misses. The last thing that this lets you do, spending just a little bit more time swimming out around this corner, is that it gives you more time to get your aim on. Because when you start firing here, you're way off. And I think you recognize that really quickly and you start correcting for it. But by the time you start correcting for it, you've already fired 2 shots that are going to miss, and it ends up going down to somebody else. So the big thing to take away from this, and this is something that especially helps for frontline weapons, but helps for anyone else too, of course, is not to start firing until your aim is on. And if you have the range advantage, which you do here, if you're the longer ranged weapon, to prefer open sight lines, to prefer where they don't have a lot of cover that they can run to sight lines where they can just step right around a piece of cover and be out of your way in an instant. So there's someone on the bottom left. Good job recognizing this. Your vision's been pretty good so far. Not a lot of stuff that you just like completely missed, haven't seen. One thing that I do think you're missing mechanically here is recognizing, like, when your shots will hit them and when they won't. Like, the Bloblobber has projectiles that bounce off things, which means that, for example, aiming at the floor isn't necessarily going to get the shots there. So they're going to bounce, which means you don't want to be aiming at the floor here. If you're going to get around a ledge like this, Are you familiar with right side peek?
No, I'm not.
All right. So I'm going to do a little demonstration in the lobby here for you. All right. So, let me clear this up. So, notice how the weapon is held on the right side of the character. Like, I'm holding things over to the right. And that's actually true for every weapon in the game. Like, when I fire with the NZAP, I'm holding it over on the right side. The only case where this isn't true is with dualies. And it's true, like, obviously when they're firing straight forward, you know, they're coming from both sides. But when you dodge roll, they're actually coming from the left. But that's the only weapon in the game where it's different. And so this actually matters a lot when it comes to cover. Because let's say I want to hit an opponent who's out in front of me, but I've got this wall in front. I'm not hitting anything there. Oh my god.
Timing 100.
We'll almost get there. Alright, here we go. So. Not hitting them, not hitting them, not hitting them. This is how far... Oh my god. This is how far I've got a little bit of stick drift there, huh? This is as far out as I have to go, and I'm still bouncing off the side wall, so I probably want to be a little bit further out. But, like, look at how much of me is around this corner for me to be able to hit this shot. Now, let's say I want to hit someone who's over here instead. Now look at how much of me is exposed around the corner. It's like half of what it was over here. And that's all happening just because I hold the weapon on the right-hand side. So if I peek the right side of a corner, I'm a lot safer, and I can hit around that corner a lot sooner. So let's say there's someone below you, and you know you're having trouble hitting them because the blobs are hitting the floor. The quickest way for you to be able to hit those shots is by aligning yourself with the right side. Because from here, you get your weapon over the edge the soonest and expose yourself the least by trying to aim this way. So this is how you want to be aiming at that player when they're down over the ledge. You don't want to be like aiming down from the front like this. You want to be lining yourself up on the right side and clearing it this way.
Sounds good.
I think Sam might have had the stream muted because nobody else has been saying that it's silent. Except, I guess, for someone who's trying to troll you. Unless something happened? Yeah, audio's been fine. Okay, so let's skip ahead to where we were. Do I remember where we were? Not really, but we'll find out. Right, so we've been through this whole retake, so I should back up even more. Or move forward even more. Fast forward. There it is, there it is. So, if you want to hit this player from here, you're hoping to right side peek. Now, unfortunately, they're coming from in front of you, so that makes that a little difficult. You'd have to kind of turn your back to the enemy team. So what I would do here instead, because you don't really have a great angle to hit them, is I would move backward, but stay up on the ledge. And that way, you can get a little bit more of an angle the further away you get from them, where you might be able to hit them. But also you're getting out of their range, because you don't want them with their shorter range weapon to be able to hit you. You'd much rather just keep yourself far enough away from them that you can hit them and they can't hit you. Another thing to think about here is that they're down in this alleyway, and you can make it more difficult for them to dodge shots by bouncing them from wall to wall, back and forth. That was possibly a moment, when they got behind you, where you could have right side peeked and cleared that whole area down there. But you never want to drop down here with them, because now you're giving up your weapon's biggest advantage against theirs. Their weapon splats faster, but that's all they have going for it. Their weapons are, their shots are like so short ranged that the only way that they're safe is if they have a wall in between them and you. By getting rid of the gap between you two, by putting yourself in a position where they can shoot you, now they should just win this fight 100% of the time, because they splat so much faster. So, I'm going to type to Sam real quick. There we go. So, yeah, all right. Figured that was what was going on. Goodbye.
Always gotta be weirdos.
So now, what you want to do is back up to the point where you can get a good angle down below the ledge there. You don't... One thing to consider also is you don't really care if this player is down here. Like, the only way that this player actually becomes a problem is if they're throwing torpedoes over the side, which, someone can just shoot down. And that's taking up a lot of their ink tank, so that's a pretty big investment for them. Or if they just try to jump across from the ramp. But, like, they can't really hit anything from down there. They're only really a threat if they get up above. So you could just, like, give them all the space they want, focus on something else, and then look for when they try to jump across. They can't paint the zone from here. There's nothing they can do to actually affect the objective. So it's only if they start to push and attack you and, like, get close to you that there's anything that's going to go wrong. And see, like, you didn't have to go down there. Your teammate just took care of it as soon as they tried to get up that ramp. And that's, when they're going to be vulnerable. So. Alright, team should definitely get the zone cap here. It's literally just the E-liter. Nice, and they get the E-liter too. Perfect. You probably could have jumped over that wave breaker just so that you weren't marked. That's just something to get in the habit of eventually.
Yeah.
So, more of the same here with firing shots that paint stuff you've already painted. There's... like, these shots, they're aimed at someone who's already down. So just try to recognize that a little bit sooner so that you're giving away your position less and, wasting fewer shots out of your ink tank. Then these shots over here, like... I guess you're cutting off someone's route to get over, through mid or something. But that whole area is already painted. Like, they have to paint it themselves if they're going to be able to get there. So. Then from here, if you want to... The way to get away from someone who's rushing you over a zone here is not to back up, because behind you is a whole bunch of yellow ink. Right side is painted a lot better for you, and you're going to have cover sooner from them. Plus, the way that they angle this reef slider, moving backwards gets you away from the reef slider a lot slower than moving straight to the right. This is another situation where remember, early on, like as you're spawning, you want to be getting the lay of the land. You want to be figuring out the game state. While you're being splatted, I definitely recommend just popping the map open so you can see on the map what the ink likes and what the ink looks like. So I'm gonna do that really quick so you can see what you would have seen. And boom, you're down. And so you pop this open, and it's backwards, unfortunately, because of the replay viewer. Normally, you know, it would be swapped, but you can see like your one teammate has ink all around them, and they're being backed into a corner. So where your teammate is, it's not safe, and in the time that it takes for you to get that far, opponents are going to have moved past that, further into your base. Another thing for you to notice while you're looking at that is, oh wait, there aren't any other players on my team that are out on the map. So that means that you're the first player forward. Being the first player forward is something that you always want to have in your head. That's one of your like warning signs, one of the things you've got to be careful about. Because if you're the first player forward, that means that you're the first player the opponents are going to see, and you're the first player the opponents are going to try and attack if they think that they can win a fight. So you always have to be really, really diligent, really, really careful and meticulous to clear the area around you and make sure nobody has an angle on you when you're the furthest player forward. Otherwise, you're liable to just get jumped from somewhere and not see it coming. So, there we go. So now there's a couple up at the top of the switch here. And you get off this ledge, and I would not have gotten off this ledge. I wouldn't have tried to leave the top left or this spawn area, knowing how far forward they've gotten. Because think about what happens if you drop off this ledge now and you have to back up. Where do you back up? You've got a wall behind you, an unpaintable wall. There's no way out of here. You're just stuck in a fight right now, and you're the first person to respawn out of all this, so you're kind of just having to take this fight on your own if you swim forward into it. So, fortunately, they just stand still in missiles and let you hit them. But even then, you end up getting traded. And a trade isn't what you need right now. Because a trade, like going 1-for-1, that's something where it benefits the team that likes the way that the game currently is. You know, it's a 1-for-1 trade. Well, that means that the status quo is maintained. The way that the game currently is the way that it will stay. And the way that it's currently staying is that they're scoring and they're in your base. And you don't want either of those things. So when you're behind like this, you only ever want to get clean splats that you can get away from and survive. So, Booyahs is happening. There's someone out behind your team still as they rush for the zone. I think your team is getting a little bit overzealous here. I think they're in panic mode way too early. I know like the 6 remaining looks scary, but the plus 26 means you get one really good special push, or maybe even 2 pushes out of this amount of time. You don't really have to rush this here, because you're only going to get so many chances, so you've got to make those chances count. That's the thing with splat zones. It's fine if they're scoring for a little while longer, if that little while longer makes it more guaranteed that you're going to be able to cap the zone. Now, obviously, if they're getting to 10 points remaining or so, and they don't have a penalty anymore, now we've probably got to turn on the jets and get in there and, you know, make sure that we're painting the zone as quickly as we can. And that's when we go into desperation mode. But this is like 20 ticks too early for desperation mode. And what ends up happening is, because we don't paint our feet as we go in, you know, like we did on that second time where we were more successful, because we're not, you know, getting specials that we're trying to use to move in with. I think there was a Booyah Bomb. Let me see where the Booyah Bomb goes. Maybe you guys did try to move in with that, and that was the plan here. So what happens here? Okay, so the Aerospray is way up there in a place where the rest of the team can't support it. So that's what's going on here. This Booyah Bomb, you know, it's not going to let them survive for that much longer. And the paint on the zone is something that the rest of you can't follow up with because you haven't even made it to the zone yet. So that's really where the problem's coming from. So, yeah, I would say we need to be more patient here. I think the Aerospray trying to slip in on the right-hand side, that's something that you can try to set up, but set it up when the rest of the team is back. And they really weren't back yet. The closest person was the Squiffer, but the Squiffer ends up running into trouble in front of them, and they get really, really separated here. So what you'd prefer to happen is to have everyone going in at the same time. And let's back up just a second so we can see how you go there. Best course of action in an opposite scenario where you're the last player alive after most of your team is down. So you need to make sure that the enemy team doesn't get to engage on you in a 2v1. You need to make sure that they don't get close enough to do that and they can't like attack you from multiple angles. And you need to keep them in front of you as much as you can. You don't want to give up more space than you have to, but there will absolutely be ways that they can force you to give up space. And you need to recognize like how close can I let them get to me before I need to book it. Another option is if they don't know where you are at all and they're just kind of trying to slowly paint forward or take space, what you could do is find a safe spot to hide and give jumps so that your team can get a little bit closer when they spawn. For example, on like Inkblot tower control, if you just hide behind left stack after the tower gets up onto like their plat and the push fails, if you hide behind left stack, you can often get your entire team back in before the enemy team is pushed out into mid. And now you're way closer to them, and you can restart your push if you really want to. So that's a pretty good option. So Booyah goes out here. As soon as you know that there's a player up on your plat behind your teammates, you definitely want to be calling that out because that catches Jinx off guard. They don't realize that there's someone behind them, and so that's you heard me a lot of the time, I'm sure, when we were playing Open, calling out that there's someone behind us, and that's exactly what that's for. I also wouldn't just assume that they have left because they splatted that player. Like, you might be thinking maybe, oh, they're just going to go to my next teammate forward, but you think from their perspective, they might just want to get a spawn camp going, right? They know they've got two players that are hung up on them, which means that the rest of their team is in a 3v2 if the rest of their team can just focus on your teammates. So they might just stay here, and you can't just assume that they're going to leave. So I would definitely have checked that from long range, because this is Dapples, right? This is a much shorter ranged weapon than you. If you hit them from further than they can hit you to check this turf, then you find them, and you're probably safer in that fight.
Okay.
So 2v3 here, we should be able to cap zone. Hopefully. Definitely need to cap soon so that the other team doesn't get in. Okay, we picked one, so that works out, but we really need to cap this quickly. I would say that even though your teammates' weapons aren't necessarily designed primarily for painting the zone, like the Nautilus, for example, you still really want to be painting the zone in that situation just so that you get it capped and we don't risk the enemy team being able to come back and just start scoring from where they were before, because they're not very far from KO at this point. So with you in there, we're definitely going to get the zone cap there because you've got multiple players down on the enemy team. If we hadn't gotten those picks, it would have been a little bit parrier than that, but I would definitely not be waiting this long on this side of the zone. This is your opportunity to get forward in front of the zone and put yourself in their way. Obviously, you have to do that in a way that the E-leader doesn't see, but this is the best chance that you're going to get in the near future to do that. If you stay on the backside of zone, now the enemy team is going to be able to walk right back up to the zone without having to go through you. And see, now, like, there's a player in behind us, sure, and we trade that back, but The enemy team is now on the zone. The enemy team is already able to paint it. If you get in front of the zone in between when you've splatted them and when they come back like this, they don't get to just be on the zone and be painting it right away. They have to fight you first. They have to, use all these resources they're going to use to fight you and then get past you onto the zone. Lucky that the E-liter doesn't hit their shot there. You do a better job of getting cover here, but you're still staying out there in E-liter range, and they could be hitting these. You do eventually catch them, partly thanks to pressure from the rest of your team. There's someone coming to the left. They are marked. Be careful about watching right here when that player was so close to you. But it ends up working out. Did they give up? They just, like, squid bagged a bit. That was confusing. Okay. So we end up KOing in the end. So that was a lot of things to think about. Mechanically, we talked about right side peak. We talked about not painting stuff you've already painted. So that was a couple of things for you to think about. Another mechanical thing is when you're taking a fight with a shorter ranged weapon, to make sure that you're using that range and you're creating open sight lines instead of putting your cover in the way so that it's awkward for you. And then on a larger scale, more macro level, to make sure that we're not staggering. Staggering is going down after your teammates have already gone down. And then the... what was the other thing? Oh, the other thing was getting up in front of the zone when you have the advantage, so that you actually lock them out and they're fighting you before they get to the zone. Those are probably the biggest things we talked about there. And obviously, I don't think you use a single sprinkler in this match. Never, like, discount your sub-weapon. Even, it may not be, the absolute top tier of sub-weapons or anything like that, but it's something that your weapon is equipped with, and if there is a useful case for it, you should definitely be using it. And on zones, like, Sprinkler can definitely be really annoying. Never forget to get it up there in a place where it's difficult for your opponents to remove. I think another good spot for it there is to put it up on the pole in middle. Because then the pole is kind of blocking your opponents from being able to shoot it until they get a certain angle around the pole. So that could be another thing that you try to go for. I'd experiment and see, like, where the sprinkler works best, because I haven't played a sprinkler weapon competitively, and I wouldn't have as good of an eye for it as other people would.
Okay. Yeah, I've been kind of learning a lot pretty fast. I've only been playing, like, since the end of February.
Yeah, that's a long way that you've come in that time. Like, a lot of the awareness that you've developed is looking really good. Like, you're spotting opponents at times when I think a lot of newer players would really struggle to see them. And as your mechanics work up to you being able to respond to those situations better, and you get a better sense of, like, the flow of the game, I think it's going to pick up quick.
Yeah,
I will say, like,
try to...
I think Bloblobber is probably going to fall off a little bit. That I think, like, you will reach a point where you're going to be doing better on other weapons, even on zones. Especially if you're, like, used to playing the V-Dualies. I don't want to discourage you, because there are some, like, Blob 1 tricks who are just absolutely cracked out of their minds, but I also think that, like, those players putting that much time into the weapon might have gotten more out of playing another weapon. So, I don't want to discourage you. Play what you want to play. Just, I think when players specifically have it in their minds that they'll play whatever it takes to win them games, that over time they start to self-sort away from that particular weapon. Maybe even just towards Blob Deco or something. That's a little bit more common because Kraken has a lot of use cases and it farms Kraken very quickly. But that's my general take on the weapon there. Up to you what you use, of course. Play what you have fun with, play what you win with. That's just my prediction for what you will win with in future.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty. If you have any questions for me, or if any of your teammates have any questions, feel free to send me DMs. But I'm going to move on to the VOD review for Leaf now.
Okay. See ya.
See ya. Alright. How's it going, Leaf? Leaf is in DMs right now, so you will not hear them. But we can get started with theirs. And I think there's a... There it is, okay. So they do have a VOD review, or sorry, they do have a replay code that is in DMs. Assuming that this is the one that they still want me to watch. Yep, okay. There was a question in chat. When you have the time, could you explain what you did to get your aim so precise? I'm not sure about what exactly to focus on to improve. I have a video called Learning Motion Controls, one of the more popular ones on the channel, where I talk a lot about my aim drills and like what specifically I'm trying to work on. I would recommend checking that out first, but the main things are, number one, don't start firing until your aim is on. If you fire too soon, those are basically warning shots. Those are telling the opponents where you are, and they're basically decreasing their reaction time, because if you just hit 3 shots with a splatter shot or whatever, bang, 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 now they have the 3-shot span of time before they get splatted. And, you know, that's how much time they have to do things. Whereas if you miss 3 shots on the way to them, you're doubling the amount of time they have to react and drastically improving their chances of winning the fight. So you don't fire until you're actually going to hit. Second thing is, you never want to overcorrect. You never want to be snapping your aim from left to right and go past them and have to come back. You always want your aim to stop on the target. And so what you do in the training room is you start with your aim off a target, move it to the target, and if you overcorrect, you slow down. You do it like you're practicing a piece of music. Just take it as slow as you need until you're hitting it 100% of the time, and only then speed up. Only then, and it might be slower than you have to aim in an actual game, but that's how you work it up to the point where you can actually snap and stop on a target and do it quickly. One other thing that's really important is to be tracking the opponent, to know, like, if they're moving, where you have to actually aim so that your shots will hit them, because every weapon in this game has travel time, some faster than others. Even something like a charger isn't actually completely hit scan. You have to lead your shots a little bit in some cases with fast-moving opponents. So you need to know not just how to hit the stationary targets, but really to focus on the moving ones when you're working on actual combat movement. The stationary targets are great for practice, like not overcorrecting and stuff, but when it comes to actually hitting someone, you're going to get better practice from a moving target than a stationary one. And finally, oh shoot, there was one other point. What was the other point? One important thing is if you miss, to move immediately. Never fire more than a lethal number of shots before moving when you're in combat. With any weapon, really. Some weapons you need to move in between a lethal amount of shots. What was the last one? Anyway, that should give you a lot to think about, and if I come up with the last one, I'll let you know. Ironically, this is already helping me, and this wasn't even in regards to the replay yet. There we go. Double duty. Love to see it. Suggestions on how to counter hyper-aggressive teams. What you do is you let them run into you and make it so that if they run toward you, they're going to be in a bad position to take the fight when they go after you. It helps to have something longer range so that you're hitting them before they can hit you. But basically let them feed into you and then take space off of that. At a certain point, you do need to be able to move forward, and if they have just like double cooler and they're jumping people in like crazy, that can be hard. But what that means is that you need to take strong positions where they are going to take losing fights if they run at you, and at that point, you put yourself in a place where you can actually just splat them more times than they splat you. That's what needs to be happening to beat a comp like that. What is a weapon you'd recommend working with? It's not meta at the moment, but will probably be useful to know later on. I don't know what the meta is going to be. I have no idea. Nintendo makes these balanced decisions on a basis that few can comprehend. And those few are all working for Nintendo. So, it's anybody's guess. Short-range shooters are generally very strong. Range is always a strength. Paint output is always a strength. Although, you know, in the case of something like an arrow spray, painting output will only get you so far. Having a good special, a special that's valued by the metagame, is really good. You'd much prefer to have something like a Trizuka to something like a Reef Slider. Those are some general trends, but it's really hard to say. All right, let's get started with this. So first of all, is this solo queue? I think you said it was solo queue. Yes, X-rank zones. Okay. I asked that because if this were a team, I would ask why you are running double backline. This is definitely not preferable in the situation. The problem with double backline is that you step on each other's toes. If you're on the same spot that your teammate is, you are covering the same stuff about as effectively, and you're not getting anywhere near as much value out of that extra person. So what that means is you need to spread out. You need to see where your teammate is going and take a different position. And what that often forces you to do is for one of those backline weapons at least to be taking a much more aggressive position than their weapon is really optimally going to want to play. You being the E-leader here, you should get right-of-way for every every hyper-passive defensive position, because you have the range to use it better than the bow does. And the bow has some tools that are going to make it a little bit more useful in closer range combat than your weapon will be. So that's what ideally would happen here. The bow would just play a lot more aggressively than they typically have to. Can you guarantee that that's going to happen? No. If they end up taking the position that you want and they just will not take a hint, sometimes you may just have to take a slightly more aggressive charger position. And that can just be difficult. But main goals here would be suppress the other backline weapons. So especially that X-Blow is going to be, you know, really annoyed by you being there, because that's going to make it really difficult for them to exist anywhere useful on the map. You outrange them by so much, and you splat so much faster than they do, that it's just a really bad matchup for them unless they can have cover that they're hitting you over the top of. Then the other charger you obviously have to be careful of because it is a one-shot weapon, but you outrange it significantly. And so if you can get into a position where you know your ranges and you know they can't hit you, then also a phenomenal target to go for. When you take those weapons out, that makes life so much more easy for your frontliners. It makes it a lot easier for them to get onto the zone and paint it. And bonus points if you're able to hit people from across the zone, because then not only are you hitting them, but you're also painting the zone with your shot. Okay, so unfortunate there that the wall just happens to go out right as soon as you're trying to fire that shot. Like, I think... Does it hit the wall? I didn't hear the sound effect. Maybe you missed a little bit, but you're like trying to get it in between when the wall goes out. And you do have a shot on that player. I might consider actually trying to hit over the top of the wall if they're going to back up too much. You might have been able to headshot the Nautilus, I'm not sure. But I definitely wouldn't spend too long here wailing away on their splash wall. Let your teammates with bombs take care of that. Your shots, like, you just have fewer shots than anybody else in the game. Like, over the course of these 5 minutes, you're going to fire less often than any of them are. You want to make your shots count. You don't want to be just wasting them on breaking objects. You want these shots to be hitting people and scaring people away. So, like, in the time that you've been standing here, notice how there's a charger who has a faster charge time than you remember, who is now getting in range to be able to hit you, you want to get away a little bit sooner than this, a little bit sooner than they can set up on you. Okay, apparently they didn't have the range, or they were looking at something else, so fine. We take those. I'm not an expert at knowing the backline ranges myself, because I am not a backline player. I'm just like, oh, there's a laser being aimed at me. I'm scared. And that's about all that it comes down to. I probably would have backed away a little bit further than you did, but maybe they just couldn't hit you. Leaf is typing, so I'm going to wait a second to see. From there, I don't think V-Charger can quite hit. Okay. Same deal here. Instead of putting that shot into the wall, why not aim to the left side of the wall where there's a player on the other side that you might have been able to get rid of? There, we're kind of firing just to paint. And again, I would probably consider moving at some point here, because even though you are painting across the zone, there aren't any frontliners in front of you anymore. So you don't want to end up being the furthest player forward, basically ever, on this weapon. And the opponents already know where you are and have known that for a while. You want to be repositioning at least a little bit, even if not, like, to the other side of the map. Maybe get up on, like, on top of glass after you fire a couple of shots over mid, so that now it's different angles that you can see, and they're surprised by that, and they put the wall out, and it's not blocking you. Nice! Oh my god. Why did they stand on top of each other? The fools! The fools. Okay, that's awesome. But you still have an explode to the bottom left of you that took out your teammate, and now you should be scared, because they are in a position where they can hit you. I'm really surprised that... Okay, yeah, there. So, that wasn't the best way that they could have handled that. They probably should have just tried to hit you with the Explo itself. Cut off your escape routes. And maybe then come in with a splashdown, maybe from below. But, yeah, you just kind of get to hide from that, and that's fine. I think you go down here, because there was an opponent who just took out your teammate on the left side, and there's nothing in between them and you. Yep. They were marked as well, so that was something that you definitely could have seen there. Always be looking, even if you're, you know, scoping in and you're not getting as much information, I believe you can still see the, like, X's and marks and stuff pointing you in certain directions. Yeah, like, so you can see there's still the X to the left side that shows that your teammate went down. That's information to use to keep yourself safe. And I think we're just too locked in on trying to shoot at the same spot. We're thinking too much about what's on the zone and not enough about the psychological alarm bells that need to be going off here. So you go down to that. 52 is being awfully aggressive while they're marked. Like, that's something that our team probably could have set up an ambush for, but... If I'm them, I'm waiting until I'm not marked and then moving, so that my opponents don't know where I am. So there's someone below you to the left, which is unfortunate, because there's really not much you can do about that from, like, most positions. So focusing on what's back here is probably a good idea. So we get into a little bit of a duel with this Charger. I trust that you know your ranges here. This seems a little spooky to me, because they took the shot. They figured they could probably hit it right here. That actually looks like that could hit you. I think you are in range of them. Like, look at how much the paint went past you here. So this is a little scary. And one other thing that I want to point out is that this splashdown goes up, right? And, like, the hammer goes out and all this stuff. But the Charger didn't go down. For all you know, they could just come right back up onto the right side of zone and go after you again. So I would have at least painted that first. Alright, good job getting away, although we do want to keep more of an eye on what's going on to the bottom left over there. Again, I think we're focusing really heavily on zone. Like, you see that there's movement on the left, you see there's splashes on the left. You want to at least keep track of that over there, because you don't want someone sneaking up on you. That is the one situation in which the X-Blow actually beats you, is if they get that kind of position from under a ledge. At some point, you want to get this... Oh, you are just popping it right now. Perfect, yeah. I was going to say, you want to get that out there to help your team. For as much as it's going to help. It is one of the weaker specials right now, but it's what you've got. I would not have started trying to charge a shot from there. There are too many weapons that are going to have range on you in that position. I would have, first of all, come up the wall further on the right so that I don't have to jump up that ledge to my right, and I can use the like little block if I need to block a shot. And then I would have backed up closer to the position that I started the game from, so that I'm further away from the action and I can still hit stuff. You probably have better angles from that too. See, like, Charger doesn't hit you if you go up on that, a little bit further to the right on that wall. Another good point from chat, I never remember to use sub-weapons that are not bombs, like sub-weapons that I'm not going to use in the middle of a fight, because I don't use any of them, but haven't seen a single ink mine used so far, and it's still valuable to set them up. You haven't had a chance to get on the zone to use them yet, but one good idea is to put them on the zone, because the zone will always be something that the opponents are trying to move to, and so it's something that will very reliably catch people. Another great idea would be to put it, when you get a chance, like down on the lower left, so that if someone's trying to flank from that angle, or maybe on the lower right, that if someone's trying to come that way, your team gets advanced notice of it. I don't like moving forward onto the zone at all here. There's already someone on the zone. We don't really have control of it. We don't have a numbers advantage. Like, this feels pretty spooky. Like, the Booyah goes out, and I don't know, I'm curious why you're swimming forward here. Like, what's motivating you to move forward at this moment? Waiting for them to type in text chat. Just get hyper aggressive? Okay. So that's about what I was expecting was going to happen. So I think one thing... This is something that got you in trouble earlier, and it's something that got you in trouble there as well. One thing that you want to think more about is the... basically, like, the UI, or the heads-up display, not of what's up at the top, but of player names and the X's. So, like, right now, you've got this player whose name you should not say out loud unless you're alone. And these McNulty down there, and I don't know how to pronounce that name. So we got a great suite of names for me to try and say out loud here. But, like, seeing those players and where they are, seeing when those names turn to X's when they go down, seeing when an opponent goes down, you seeing those X's show up on screen so that you know that it's safer to enter that area now. Those kinds of things I think you're not picking up on very much, because there's some information from those that would have told you not to make a couple of the plays, that it wasn't safe, and that you've gone and made those plays anyway. Numbers advantage is another thing to think about, and as an E-leader, especially a scoped E-leader, your teammates are meat shields. Always think of, like, where's my meat shield? If I don't have a meat shield, I'm not moving up. Almost got there. I don't think there's a way that you, with your weapon, hit that shot just because it's a little too slow to get there. And now you've got an explode below you to the left again, which is very annoying. Something you could do, because they seem to love dropping down there, is if you know that they're coming forward, you could move over to the left to get an angle on them. It would literally just be to stop that one play, but they've done it frequently enough and not been punished for it, really, that they probably wouldn't expect you to be watching that angle as they drop off, and you might get a free pick that way. Nice shot. They were not looking. Beautiful. I like how that gives you an assist. Like, An E-liter shot should never give an assist. I guess unless it broke armor or something, but that was not the case there. E-liter assist at full charge, yes. Nice. Alright. So we hit a couple of good shots. Team has advantage. They promptly throw that advantage away by trying to stamp her into, or trying to ultra stamp into a splatling, but that's okay. We set up and get our wave breaker up, and then we run away, because the only meat shield we have here is a bow, and they're also going to run away as soon as they get pushed. So you don't really have a lot of staying power, but maybe the reveal from the wave breaker saves someone's life. That's a really aggressive placement. It's great that it ends up there. Like, that is a wonderful spot to have a wave breaker. The problem is getting it there in the first place. Because now look at where you are. That's a 52 gal. And you're a scoped E-liter. Who wins? Let's find out. Okay, they run away for no reason. There was literally nothing threatening them there. I have no idea why they did not take that fight. That's... They're like, oh no! It's the E-liter in a 2v4! What should I do? Yeah, I guess... I don't know. If this is a competitive setting, I could see them, like, wanting to back up so that they could use this, vac to push in, but... I don't know, you're just too intimidating, I guess. Anyway, they do what they should have done 3 seconds ago and splat you, now that the vac is up. Okay, so that's one down. So that's already a good look. And this player, you saw them get charged, and they're moving up aggressively, so should be a good shot. Good try. That's definitely the one you wanted to take a shot at. I might have tried to camp the splashdown jump. I might have tried to get an angle where I can see where they're landing. But if maybe the cover was in the way and you recognized you weren't going to be able to get there, I understand just taking a shot someplace else. Maybe trying to neutralize zone. Makes sense. And I like you just harassing zone, forcing them to stay off the zone. This, by the way, is what a snipe rider does, but better, is just stay on the zone, keep painting the zone, get coolers out so that teammates dying doesn't matter, happens constantly. And you're still able to take the same shots at the same players as they move up. So I would say, like, if I'm just in a vacuum asked, like, would I prefer a snipe rider or an E-liter here? Literally the only reason I would ever take the E-liter is if I want the range advantage to be able to beat the snipe rider. Range advantage or, like, kill time advantage. Like, in the 1v1 matchup, sure, I take the E-liter, but for literally every other use case, I probably take pencil here. So if you play that, that would be something I would consider running instead. But it's also good practice just to use the E-liter, because the E-liter's aim is more precise than on the snipe rider. So if you practice on E-liter and then play on snipe rider, your aim is going to be... It's like you're going to be taking the weight vest off, basically. Non-scope weapons are very tough for me to use after tons of scope. Gotcha. And yeah, it is an adjustment, but I find that most top players can switch back and forth, because there have been metas, for example, where people preferred the scoped version or preferred the unscoped version for various reasons. You know, it was slightly better for countering certain threats, or if they needed the range advantage to be able to beat the enemy charger or something like that. And so it's useful to be able to play both, and that might be something to work up. And you're in the middle of Snipe Rider meta, that might be the time to learn. So, your call. I also wonder if me playing scope may affect my awareness, since I'm just naturally focused on that center circle. I ignore my peripherals and top bar. Even through the like, honestly, yeah, you're not going to see the game, but seeing, like, the X's, seeing, like, your teammates running around in the periphery, that should still be something that's you're aware of. That should still be something that you try to focus on, even when you are scoped in. So, slight advantage here. And you've been firing from the same spot for a while here. Oh, but that's your bow over there. So yeah, this is kind of where you want to stay for now. it's so unfortunate that you've got double backline, because if you don't have double backline, you can be so much less predictable. Like, you can be here, fire like 2 shots, then move over to the right where the bow is, and now you catch them off guard and get a random shot. But because it's double backline, these are the only 2 positions that you want, so these are the ones you're going to take, and it's not like you're going to just, like, agree to swap places and, like, high-five each other on the way across. It's not like that does anything for you, so you're just kind of here. Oof. Yeah, Charger got your teammate, and then your other teammate jumped in, so they went down too. Not much you're going to do about that. And there's that Explo move again. They've done this 4 times now. And this is something that you want to be looking for and, like, maybe painting for a little bit, instead of just focusing on the zone. Because this is starting to become a liability. Okay, good job on the teammate to push that back. But they die here because they decided to keep pushing after they got a pick. Frontliners, this is a tip that I heard from Kiver a long time ago. That it was back in Splatoon 2. It was that long ago. When you get a pick, you've done your job, right? You don't need to do more. If you can do more, sure, but don't force it. Don't go for more if there isn't more to be found immediately. If you're, like, diving enemy ink by yourself, cool, you got one. Wait for your team. Your team being there is the advantage. If you got damaged, heal that off so that it's harder for your opponents to get the advantage back, or to neutralize the advantage that you've gained, really. Like, your teammates are what's going to capitalize on you getting the pick. So wait for your teammates to do the work. Back off a little bit. Skirmish a little bit. Your opponents know where you are. You've gotten damaged probably. Just, like, wait those disadvantages out and let your team do the work. Because if you force it afterwards, you're just going to get traded back like that guy just did. They got a great pick on the Explo. What they should have done at that point was run away and throw a torpedo. And that's all I wanted to see them do. Okay, so all 3 of us are down. And what I want you to be recognizing is that you do not want to be seen right now. If you can get a pick on someone who's out in the open, fine. But, like, that's a 52 gal who is almost in range of you. And you don't want to show yourself to that opponent so that you get rushed down. I would probably set up a little further back than this. For that exact reason. That is what I was worried about. Yep, there we go. Just reading what they responded to me in text chat with. So great, your teammates got 2, and now it's time for us to, yeah, just ignore that wall. That wall is literally there to waste your time. Just go past it on the, jump across the corner on the left, move around it on the right. You don't need to do anything about that wall. It's not in your way. Go around it. Don't waste your shots on it. Nice. So we get this cap. My question to you with this move... Oh, okay, you're putting a mine down. I understand. So yeah, put the mines down when it's safe to. Maybe not when there's actively someone shooting at you. Maybe not when there's someone, like, within range to hit you who's on the zone. Deal with that first, then get the mines down during the lockout phase. As your team is, like, pushing up into their base or something. Because this is just really risky, and the fact that you're, like, autopiloting to put exactly these 2 down on the zone, and you're not reacting after you put the first one down to, oh crap, there's someone right next to me, I should not be here. That's going to get you in trouble sometimes, like it did that first time you tried to do this. This is risky because there's the charger up there on the right, and you're trying to duel them, but it's not really a duel because there's a 52 gal that's also looking at you, and you have no meat shield. I would back up to the point where you do have a meat shield, and now you can duel the charger. But, like, try to get yourself into a 1v1 instead of a 1v2 here. A little bit greedy going for that extra mine, but it doesn't end up hurting you. That player's marked, and that's something we should probably immediately be moving away from. Now we're just in some trouble. Even with the Explo, it's still not a great matchup. Tap shot versus Explo shots. So you just didn't want to be there once you saw that player marked. Again, if you don't have a player in between you and them, just try to stay at max range from anyone who can threaten you. You are playing literally the most passive positioning weapon in the entire game. Except for maybe like Turf War Reflux, which doesn't even engage and just paints for missiles. Because they paint spawn in the middle of the match. Nice shot. Ends up not being on the person you're aiming at. It's actually on the charger there, but works out. The fact that there's a player on your right here should be concerning to you, and it is not, and so you get splatted by them again. So a general situation here is, again, we're focusing on the zone at the expense of what we need to clear to get to the zone. You can definitely put some shots on zone here and there when you have nothing else to do with that shot, but when you do have something to do with that shot, like stop the 52 gal from flanking you, then we need to fire that shot at the 52. And getting rid of the 52 will let our teammates get in and actually get control of the zone instead of us just kind of maybe sometimes neutralizing the zone until they figure out that you're painting it. To play this kind of playstyle where you're trying to stall the zone and actually put paint on it long enough to like neutralize it completely by yourself, that's what you really want a Snipe Rider for. That's not really an E-Leader thing to do. The E-Leader you're picking because you want to splat people. Alright. So, do you have questions for me? We can go over the basic things here. I'm mostly trying to play E-Leader too much like a Snipe Rider. In some cases. It was like a couple of specific situations there where you're just firing the shots onto the zone and trying to, like, cap it that way. And it's not like it's even a bad thing to do if it's going to work, but what you're not recognizing is that your weapon only paints so much because you have only so much of a fire rate. And if you're just trying to, like, outpaint two members of the enemy team with it, you won't do that with an E-Leader, and you will do that with a Snipe Rider. So definitely cap the zone from a distance if you can, but also you need to do more to recognize when you can't, and also recognize when there are higher priorities for you, given the low likelihood of you being able to do that. Yeah, the Explo too. Looks like they're sometimes trying to do Squiffer things. I think what they're trying to do is just get the mines down on the zone, because they've heard that that's a good thing to do. And they're doing it at a time where the team doesn't actually control the zone yet, so it's not safe to go out there yet. They're like frontlining to put the mines down, instead of waiting for meat shields to be out in front to give them time to put the mines down. So, biggest things would be, obviously, like, when you have not a double backline comp, rotate position more. That would have helped more in general, but, like, there's only so much of that you can do when your teammate is already taking one position. But take the same position in a row fewer times. So, like, maybe, you know, work from the back left a little bit if you've got such a hard read on the Explo playing from there. Maybe surprise someone by, like, firing a shot from snipe but then rotating someplace else. Even if you just drop off the box, taking it from a different angle can sometimes give you something that you wouldn't have had otherwise. Go for picks, especially on opponents that threaten you, or opponents that threaten your teammates when you can. Spend less time, you know, shooting at splash walls. Spend less time, you know, doing supportive things with your shots, and try to get those meaty shots that are actually going to change the game state. And then awareness was the one other big thing we talked about, which is just paying attention to UI elements that tell you that danger is coming, like knowing that you're down in numbers, knowing that your teammates are someplace else, or that your teammates are fighting, or that there's an opponent who's marked that's heading toward you. All of those things you want to be noticing a little bit more often. you have any questions for me? They are typing. Do, but it's not so much regarding gameplay exactly. In the future, is it possible to submit another VOD? Yeah, I generally recommend that people don't do that until maybe at least like a month or so has passed, because all of these things are going to take time to work on, and I'm probably just going to end up saying a lot of the same stuff if we watch something else, unless like maybe you have another weapon or something. But I also just try to keep the queue clear for new people to get opportunities. Yeah, Sea Leader would play a little bit differently, because now you have to be working around a very aggressive special. So that changes things quite a bit. Kraken is one of my blind spots as a player. I've just never ended up on a weapon that played Kraken for a very long time. And when I did use Kraken, it was just for Kraken cheese. It was never really the main way that you're going to end up using it on a Sea Leader. Obviously, you can use it for Kraken cheese on a Sea Leader, but you're also going to use the Sea Leader on other modes, so. I'm told patch notes are out. I'm not going to look, and I'm going to ask for you not to tell me, because I'm going to do a reaction if they're out. The patch notes are not out on the website. I've been lied to. I've been deceived by the internet. V Leader and C Leader. Okay, got it. Yeah, well. Was that all of your questions? Is there a good way to counter Kraken? Fight its teammates. Recognize that it has very, very low range. If you're the one that it's chasing, just stay alive as best you can and know that you're drawing a player out of play. And then if you avoid it for long enough, it will have to run away from you, because you'll be able to camp it if it doesn't. And so you try to anticipate where it's going to end up and punish it from there. I think that's about it. If you have any more, yeah, feel free to DM me at that point. So, all right. So that'll do it for our VOD reviews, and that is going to do it for our stream, because I've got some stuff that I need to go and take care of. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We're going to go and, on Twitch, we are going to raid... Who are we going to raid? Well, Rafa's stream is called Learnin'. We've gotta, right? We've got to go raid Rafa if he's learning. So we're going to raid Rafa, and I'm going to put their link into the chat on Restream, so that if you on YouTube would like to follow over into that raid, that you can just click the link and head over there. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I do lessons like this both on Tuesday streams. Happy Tuesday, Marissa. I do lessons like this both on Tuesday streams and also via Metafy. Those are paid, but you can get those lessons anytime, and they're private, and much sooner. There's less of a wait for those, so that is an option if that's something that you want. And if you don't want, that is fine. You can also just sign up for the Tuesday streams by DMing me on Discord. So check all of that out. There's also the YouTube channel, TikTok, the Discord server's there for if you need to find me to DM me. All of those are options. We're gonna go and raid Rafa. Rafa is a longtime competitive Luna Blaster player. It looks like they're playing... that's the Custom Junior right now. So let's go say hi.